Good evening and
Did
welcome
say
to the
they were
March
having
7th Parks Commission
guests.
meeting at 7 p.m.
There's no bills.
LakeCAM is recording our event. Is anybody else recording tonight's meeting? Hearing none, we'll open the meeting at 7 p.m. We'll start with Lacey Marshall, our Human Resources Director, and we'll go
Usually they
over
mention
Doug Berry's application to be Director of Clear Pond Park.
Ooh, nice.
Thanks, Lacey, for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Did everybody have a chance to look over Doug's application?
Yeah.
Were there any questions, comments?
Nope.
Do you have anything you want to add about Doug's application?
No, I think that him coming once again is great for you guys.
Yeah, it really,
Yeah.
it really is. I don't know what we would do if he didn't. So, anybody want to make a motion to accept Doug's application
I make a motion that we accept Doug's application.
and hire him for the
Second it.
2024?
I'll
With
second
flying
that.
I
colors.
seconded it already.
Oh, I'm
Any,
sorry.
any discussion? It's gonna be a long night. Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So Scott's not here, but the four of us all voted aye. All right, welcome aboard, Mr. Berry. Okay, now we have 3 different job postings that we have to go over. Let's start with, any preference? Let's do Clear Pond Attendant.
Is this the same posting that went out last year?
Pretty much.
Any changes?
So, well, I have the Clear Pond Attendant. In the duties, I didn't know, I didn't notice where it said that they are responsible for manning the gate and taking in gate fees.
Okay.
Was it there and I missed it? Did anybody else see it?
It says, assist the Clear Pond Park Director by maintaining seasonal pass records, collecting fees, overseeing outdoor group outings.
Okay.
I don't know if you want it
They
to.
do.
Which one?
No, that would be fine. We're starting with the Clear Pond Attendant.
Essential duties and responsibilities.
Okay. So that's fine then.
Okay.
And then, the only other thing is, this one says core evaluation and drug test required for individuals over 18 years of age. And I noticed on the lifeguard ones, it doesn't say over 18. Are all of the lifeguards,
So it's really up to what you want.
are they usually all drug tested, no matter what age the lifeguards are?
We have been doing that in the past, but my understanding is it may not be correct. If you're under 18, you don't need to do a quorum.
If you're under 18, you don't need to do one.
Okay,
Wouldn't press it.
no. So we'll just add if over 18 onto the other 2
Okay.
ones too.
No.
All right, any other questions or comments on the part-time Clear Pond
Yes.
attendant positions?
Yes, I'm not gonna let this fly
ahead.
by.
ahead.
There's been a problem with
Okay.
attendance and lifeguards at Clear Pond, and my information from Doug Berry is that they don't realize this is a 9-week assignment and we don't give vacations. And I've addressed this in the past, but I think my understanding is the previous HR person didn't want to put it on the application for fear that people wouldn't apply. And if that's so, then maybe the parents need to come in with the applicant, especially those under 18, and have some understanding or something that's written that they sign up to, that they don't take a week vacation in Greece, and 2 of them don't go together to Maine for.
Okay, that's oddly specific, so let's just keep it to,
All right. The problem is that they're taking off time that's not been given. I believe last year there was some mention that maybe the HR person gave it to them. That everybody's blaming everybody. However, it needs to be addressed because Doug is being left very shorthanded.
So I would say, I mean, to the effect of Greece, I don't think anybody plans a Greece trip in a day, right? So during the interview process, it can be asked, that question can be asked to the applicant do you have a planned vacation? So that, you know, Doug can already see, okay, this person won't be in August, so, you know, because you don't want just your minimum coverage. So if you have to hire 3 people instead of 2 people to make sure, and then even though it's 9 weeks, you could say, you know, this individual is working this entire week where this next person is working. So it gives them like 2 weeks off and then they're back on unless they choose to work, you know, full time for the entire 9 weeks. But essentially you're asking a 15, 16-year-old kid if their parents are saying, hey, we're going to take a vacation to Florida, and you're saying, no, you're going to work here for 9 weeks. The chances are that applicant's not going to be able to work for you. So just having that flexibility. But I would say up front, do you have a planned vacation? Because then you would know, you know, how to plan. And also to say, if they do have a need for time off, then they need to give the supervisor, which is the Clear Pond director, at least, whatever you guys want to say, a week's notice so that they can see if there'll be coverage. Now, if they call my office, I can tell you right now that I would tell them they need to speak to their supervisor, because I don't make that decision, the supervisor does. I don't know if that happened in the past, but I can tell you from here on out, I would never do that to you because that's unfair.
Right.
You know.
I guess my question is it possible to put on the application, are you planning any vacation time during the 9-week commitment?
Well, she asks it during the interview process.
So-
But I
It's
think
the
it
same.
needs to be in writing, and I think the parents need to be accountable because they're under 18. And I think they have to have a clear understanding that you don't get 2 weeks or a week's vacation in 9 weeks. I want that job, I'll sign up for it.
Normally, it's not a problem. Like, this is the first year that we've had that problem, and like
No.
Paula
We've had
said,
this problem
we had
for years.
a couple kids go off for 2 weeks at a time, and then that was left it. Like, nobody would fill in.
Yeah.
Like, so
So they were
And
late.
it's hard for
This
him
year it was a
to
huge-
adjust the schedule and get the coverage. And then you have to either close down like some part of the pond, usually the raft part, because you can't have coverage with lifeguards. Or he's fishing around at the last minute to get the coverage, and he doesn't have enough of that staff for coverage. It's, you know, we don't overstock the Clear
Generally,
Pond.
it is done on the interview process, because whenever I would do it, hey, I just want you to know this is it. If you want any time off, you're gonna have to let me know the first day, and then we can discuss.
You can't know a week before. That doesn't
Oh, no,
give them a
that's-
chance to cover.
That's definite, but I don't necessarily think that, and it's true, if you post this and say what it says here, it's great, but because.
I'm talking about the application
Yeah.
itself.
Oh, the application, you're saying?
When they
Well, yeah,
write out
that's
the
the application.
application I'm asking Lacey if it's possible to have a box, or a check box. Are you planning a summer vacation or time off during the 9 weeks or something? And I think the parents have to really help you with that. And I think that they should know that they're not just given a week, 2 weeks off during the 9 weeks. It's not, we can't cover that.
Yeah, you want to do an unscheduled 2 weeks off. If your expectation is they're working for the 9 weeks and then, you know, 2 weeks into it, they're saying 2 weeks. No, I completely understand
It's
that.
one thing if it's, you know, an illness or a family
Yep.
emergency.
So, I mean, it's up to the board if you want me to create a separate job application, because I have one now that is for the town employees full-time. So I need to keep that one the way it is, because if I change that one, people that are applying for a full-time job are gonna look at it and go, why do I need to tell you my vacation time? So I can definitely design one for Clear Pond directly. If you give me the dates to say, you know, here's the season, it's between now and now, you know, is there any planned vacation during this time? And then if so, like, here are the dates.
okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know if,
I
I'm sure
think
we'll
that's
discuss that you need to do all that work just for
I think-
this.
Yeah.
I think Paul is right, but I think that can be done during the interview.
I don't think that just during the interview is enough. I think we need it in writing. This
Well,
is a
the-
constant problem. Scott can tell you, Doug Berry can tell you, I can tell you from years past
No,
that they just leave and Doug can't cover it. And supposedly, somehow we need to get this under control.
okay. Well, I think Lacey's addressed that, and if, at the end, if we want it to add it to the application for her to do a new one, we'll let her know.
Okay, I was just trying to,
Yep.
make sure that we agree that it should be on the
Yep.
application.
I think everybody understands the severity of the problem. Okay. Any questions, other questions, concerns, or comments about the Clear Pond attendant full-time and part-time positions? No? Hearing none, any motions?
So, sorry.
Oh, no, that's
Okay.
fine.
I think we had discussed this though, between the lifeguard and then the WSI.
Yep.
Do you want two separate postings?
I don't think we need two separate postings,
Okay,
because it's the same thing, right? Except for one gets 50 cents more
yeah,
because they have the WSI.
yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't something that you wanted on there, or separate ones, I mean.
I don't think so.
So what does that mean? Just doing,
2 applications instead of 3 applications, right?
Right.
That's what we're saying. So the Clear Pond attendant doesn't have a WSI.
It does not, no. No.
So any motions to accept this job posting?
I make a motion to accept the job posting as written.
Sorry, the lifeguard seasonal one? Or the lifeguard slash water safety instructor?
Neither. The Clear Pond attendant.
Dependent.
We're still on this
Oh,
first
I
one.
apologize. I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor of accepting the job posting?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Paula? Paula, did you say aye and I missed it? Okay. Unanimously passed. Okay, Scott,
I said
we'll catch you up now. We're gonna do the lifeguard seasonal, full and part-time positions available. Now, there's 2 of them. So the lifeguard slash water safety instructor,
Mhm.
that one, we're just gonna combine both of them.
What did we have before? 3?
No, we just had the 2. But we added the water safety instructor and lifeguard, so we'll go with that one. And we'll get rid of just the lifeguard one, right? And then if they have the WSI, then they just check the box and they get a little bit extra per hour.
I don't know. I kind of like this one that says they get more money for having the certification. It might be a little incentive to.
We used to pay for their training.
Right, but because they have the WSI, water
Right,
safety
yeah.
instruction, they get an extra 50%, oh God, 50 cents per hour.
Yep.
It's not just check the box, they also have to show the certification.
Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Everybody have a chance to look these over? Any questions on this one?
Typo.
Where?
Second page, in the black, the regular pay rate, pay for all hours worked on 40 hours in a work week, but that should be 2 words. See it here?
Oh, so on the 3rd page. Overtime requirements, therefore is eligible to be paid the rate of time and 1/2 and included operational budget, right there.
Keep going down.
The regular rate of pay for all worked beyond 40 hours in a work week. You want work and week separated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks good though.
Okay, so you want work week separated?
Yeah. Do we ever,
it is one word though.
is it? I've never,
I don't know, do we have to do spell check?
My spell check didn't correct me, so.
okay, I've just never seen it that way, but that's fine.
It's just,
And I'm an English savant, so I don't know.
Uh-huh. All right,
Do you
any,
ever put on your thing that Massachusetts is an at-will state, so that they know that they can just be let go or laid off at any time? Is that not necessary?
It's 2 words. No, it's 1 word.
Is it? Huh, that must be the Urban Dictionary. I'm just curious, you ever put on agreements that it's an at-will state?
So normally when we hire anybody, they have to come in and in process with us, and we do give them the employee handbook that does
Oh,
state
okay.
that in there, so it covers us on that basis.
Thank you.
I apologize for
Sorry, did we have a motion? I feel like it's been so long I forgot.
So are we doing lifeguard seasonal or lifeguard water safety?
Lifeguard water safety.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of accepting this job posting?
Aye.
Second.
Aye.
Paula.
Michael, you're all good?
I'm good.
Are you checking work week?
It goes both ways. I knew I was right.
Whichever way you want it,
Yeah,
just let
okay.
me know.
No, you do it your way. I
Okay.
just wanna make sure.
All right.
Okay. Do we have any other questions for Lacey that we can pick her brain while she's here?
With the vacation thing,
Yeah.
if you're talking to Doug, maybe if like, I don't know, even if they do have a vacation, just I guess between the two of you coordinate maybe a schedule of the summer, and then if someone has a vacation, just put a slash through it so that even if they do have vacations, it's okay as long as they're not overlapping or taking up time.
Yeah, so I think when you start interviewing for this, I'll, link up with Doug and sit in on the interviews, because it's easy enough for me to kind of have a calendar. And while we're interviewing, if somebody says, hey, I'm off, then, we can kind of already look to see if there's like a big block where everybody's looking to take it off or whatever. Do we need like one more part-time person to kind of cover down?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll sit with him during the interviews so we can already know before the season starts what we're looking at.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Yeah, of
Part
course.
part of the problem is they don't tell it in the interview.
Yeah.
Well,
And
I
they
think
spring it on Doug in mid-June.
part of the problem is the kids don't know, right?
Well,
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, they
You
do.
don't. Oh, they do. Come on. You don't.
I mean,
Go to
when
Greece.
we worked there,
in
we were
five-
employed for 10 weeks. There was no vacation. So to be taking 2 weeks off out of a 9-week job is ridiculous, in my view. Then we find somebody else.
We're all
Right,
signed
and
up for
that's,
it.
if there's enough people that apply that aren't taking vacations, that's absolutely how it goes. Right, the
Remember, there
peop-
are kids college kids who leave the third week of August, which really doesn't constitute a 9-week thing.
Well, the
But
third
we
week of
Right,
August,
usually
that's
plan
a
those
for
lot
that-
of
that.
week.
Those are your more experienced that you
Right,
need.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, the
Yes.
ones who come back, no, it's the newer ones.
Right, because if they took that time off, Doug wouldn't have it back,
Right.
so. All right, thank you, Lacey, very much
Well,
for
thank
coming
you,
out
guys.
through this. So
Whenever
we're all
you're
set to post these, so
ready.
whenever,
Oh, you want to vote?
do
So
we wanna post them? There's no reason why we should wait, right?
do we have opening? Do you have the dates for?
Yes,
Okay.
Peter can send those to you.
Okay, perfect.
And,
Thank you. Go ahead.
Did she want to change the application and show it to us before she posts it?
Well, she's just right now
Give it
posting the
to me.
job
No, I
descriptions, right?
didn't know what it was, I didn't
Oh,
know.
okay.
Okay. So the application is going to be a different format, right?
I'll send you one. If you
Okay.
guys want that one instead, then I'll put it up on the website
right.
and they can use that one.
Yeah,
All right.
because we'll discuss it after you guys all leave, so you don't have to sit here and listen to us discuss it.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
you.
Thanks for coming.
Of course. Okay. Now the fun part of our night. Okay, guys, let's talk about the skate park. Come on up.
Scott, do you know these gentlemen?
Nope.
They're working, they're from Skater's Edge in Taunton.
Ryan is.
Ryan is, and we asked them to do a plan of what we would do to renovate the skate park, what it would look like, how much it's gonna cost.
Great.
I
Thank you.
had gotten the quote from the people who did the tennis courts, so they're here to explain what they did.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for giving us the time.
It's their dream come true. How many people can say that?
Hey, you know.
You don't even know.
We all like Scooby-Doo over there.
All right.
Sick. Well, for those that don't know, my name is Brian Catalano. Grew up here and been here my whole life, and 29, been skating at this skate park for probably 20 years now. it's like a second home. These guys can probably agree.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
My name's Dickie. I've been skating for 20 years. I'm 31 years old. I've gotten to travel halfway around the world through skateboarding. I've learned the trade of building skate ramps and skate parks, and skateboarding has been very good to me, and I'm very happy to be here to speak on behalf of our skate park.
And I'm Alex. I'm best friends with these guys. Lakeville Skate Park is something that hits very home to me. It's kind of where I found my coming of age pretty much when I started skateboarding at age 12. So even though there's been so many great skate parks that have formed over the years all around Massachusetts, Lakeville is just, it's for some reason still so close to home to me, even despite its condition. People will look at me like, why do you skate there still? And I'm just like, you wouldn't understand unless you were there. So yeah, I love the place.
Great. We're happy to have you guys.
Yeah, so on the first page, we have an aerial view of the current condition of the skate park. This is the current and only layout it's really ever seen since its inception. A lot of the towns or cities use like prefabricated skate parks, so they all kind of use similar ramps and features, but interchange them differently. So this is one of those skate parks. Nothing too unique or fancy, a lot of similar features that other parks have, but we have a 10,000 square foot space in total. And all this black is just the asphalt. So I'm sure you guys don't know too much about ramps and skateboarding, but there's a lot of open space here. And the ramps that are there don't really kind of give you like a good flow of the space, so you can't really utilize the space to its full potential, which is very much a waste. But on top of that, a lot of the ramps are definitely outdated and could use some repair and love. They've never really seen an official like maintenance or upgrade the whole time it's been here. So me and a few people are probably the only ones who've ever gone there after hours and sealed some cracks where no one really has. So we would love to do something to make this space a little bit better, where people want to use it, but also it's a safe place where anyone could go and learn to skateboard or enjoy the freedom of that space there like we have. So we have on the next page a little bit some photos of the current state of the skate park. A lot of cracks, danger zones, if you will, where just rolling around you can definitely fall in a crack and get hurt, or just by being there. The asphalt itself is cracking and weathered. Definitely not a place where you'd want to go to skateboard at the end of the day with the current state, but we always grew up with it a little bit nicer than this, so it definitely has like some really good potential to be here. We just got to get it there. But
Did you get rollerbladers when you were down there too?
yeah, there's I've seen a little bit of everything there: skateboards, bikes, rollerblades, scooters, a little bit of everything, especially at the Edge Indoor Skate Park, or Skater's Edge, where I work in Taunton. We see all of that. There's definitely a good market for all of the above there.
We had met that roller derby lady, remember?
Oh, that's right.
And she
Yeah.
didn't use, her son was there riding his scooter, but she couldn't use our skate park to practice her roller derby.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like for that they use mostly just the space to ride around, or the ramps to build off that, like go in circles or get speed. But nowadays they start doing tricks and stuff too. So there's definitely a lot of really cool skate parks that are always being built around here too. But it's a costly project to make a skate park. But we believe that we have a way to get a skate park of that caliber that the other towns around us have for a really cheap
Fraction.
price, if you
Fraction of
will.
the cost.
Yeah. All skate parks are different, obviously, depending on what it is, but nothing shy of definitely like $250,000 to $500,000 to full $1 million skate parks all over the country. So what we're trying to do with this plan is utilize what we already have on the skate park and build on it and around it, so we can take up some of that space that's just kind of blank there. So on this page with the red and yellow, you can see the new ramps and the existing ramps. The only couple things that we are going to be doing in this project would be removing 2 ramps for the most part. But to help us with this plan, and Dickie can give you a little info, we have a fully legit skate park building company that has decided to help us with this project.
Yeah, so my boss, his name is Carlos. He's been, skateboarding for 40 years. He's 52 years old now. He's traveled, halfway around the world, to build skate parks. He's made the most recognizable skate park in all of skateboarding for all of us. That was a privately funded thing. He taught me how to build, and he drove up here from Harrisburg just to check the spot out and help us, plan numbers and, come up with a design and game plan.
If you flip to the page after Carlos, you can see we have a couple ramps that are highlighted that we would be removing. On the left, it's this rail feature that is just, honestly, I have no clue why that is there.
It's dangerous.
No one hits it. It is very unsafe just if you wanted to try to hit it. So we need to get rid of that. But that feature that is built upon, we call that a kicker. We would keep that. These 3 bumps that are also circled, we would try to remove these, but we have a nice plan where we would want to build upon the bumps and almost use that as like a framework for a future new ramp. So we would kind of save on costs of having to fully destroy and get rid of that.
So we're not removing those, we're just going over them?
Essentially, like this black tar that's like leading up to it, we were gonna plan on getting rid of all of that around the whole park. We are trying to get the whole place like resealed and asphalt coated, but the asphalt ramp lips are not the way that we want to do it. We want to concrete the ramps. It would be smoother, it would probably last longer and be a better experience just for everybody there. So we think it'd be beneficial to remove all these asphalt lips, which we have included into our budget here, and replace them with all concrete. So on these little bumps, we would just be getting rid of those little asphalt pieces and utilizing those bumps as a framework for a ramp to build in the future.
Okay.
But then these 2 other circles behind it, we would get rid of those 2 features and that rail. Those would be the only things removed from the park. Everything else would essentially be staying. Which on the next page, we have ramp A. Now, this would be in the corner. This yellow piece is the existing ramp there, and everything else is built upon it. These are all the numbers for materials and everything, including tax and
Now it says labor. Is that prevailing wage labor?
Correct.
yes.
Yes.
When you say copying, could you explain that?
So that actually says coping. So I don't know if you've ever seen, at least if you've seen this skate park, there's like little circular rails at the top of the ramps. We call that coping. It's essentially just a pipe.
It's just steel.
Yeah, it's just like a steel pipe.
Okay.
You use that essentially to like do your tricks on. It's like a little piece that you use. So that would be these like circular pieces all along the tops of the ramp.
Is it metal?
Yes.
Is it aluminum or steel? Or
No,
steel?
it's ID steel.
Yeah.
It's 2-inch ID steel.
Okay, steel.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
If you've never really seen a skateboard, it's essentially a popsicle shaped piece of wood with the metal trucks and wheels, and the metal trucks is what grinds onto the coping there. When you do tricks on ramps like these or rails or anything of that matter, it's like metal on metal. But so all these numbers is all the parts, labor, material,
What's the
including
30%?
Tax.
That's all the taxes.
30%?
We can change it if you like, so more accurate, but we just accounted for 30% tax rate on everything.
Sales tax is 6.25.
I don't understand.
I know.
You only pay what the state rate is, which is 6.25%. So I don't know how you get 30%
If-
tax.
If it's a out-of-state company, do we pay our tax or their tax?
No, we pay the tax that's billed
Our tax.
in the thing, but there's, the only place that's 30% tax is Switzerland. So I don't understand what the 30% tax is. We would never pay 30% tax. We can't pay over than what the state is. So I just don't know.
I think what my boss was factoring in too was the tax on labor and everything. I'm sure we can adjust.
It's only
those
one,
numbers.
it's only one on the whole thing. I don't even know if you pay tax on labor.
No, you don't.
Okay.
So there is no tax on labor, there's only taxes on material.
Yes.
So, like the wood, the cinder block, the coping, the rebar, the concrete, you pay taxes on that. You have a pour day labor of 9, you have a setup day of 15.9, there's no tax on that. So that's 24, and then you got 9 for 30%, so this is gonna be a lot lower. So if you can just check on that, because
Yes.
this would never fly, it's 30%, and we don't pay taxes on labor in the state. Am I correct?
Yeah, no, I mean, and we have to present this to the rest of the town, and they're gonna look at it and go,
Well, we wouldn't do it, we wouldn't present this anyway. So you're gonna have to clean it up and let him know why. If he has any questions, he can call, or you guys can call. Because I think that's on everything. You got 30%
Yeah.
tax on everything, plus all your setup and your pour.
Right.
Well, this will be, it'll come out to 30 grand total. I'm very
So I
happy.
think they were, just trying to like pad it to make sure
Yeah.
like there are cost overruns, and they just stuck it under tax instead of
Well,
cost overruns.
I would
So-
put it under miscellaneous, I wouldn't
Right,
put it
so,
under tax.
yeah,
We're definitely accounting for grace, you know what I mean? Like,
right,
Yeah.
someone's
Oh.
gonna mess
Don't
up.
do
No.
it on tax, please.
no,
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
can't
'cause-
tax labor.
Well, yeah.
that's
Yeah,
a
no,
set rate, but yeah, definitely a miscellaneous
You said it was 6.5?
6.25, right?
6.25?
6.25 on
So you have to, Brenna, take the 15 and 9 out, and then you tax the rest.
Right, I was doing ramp totals. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Labor is there. Sorry.
but does the town even pay sales tax?
I'm sorry?
I don't even think the town pays sales tax.
No, I don't think so either, because they're tax exempt.
Yeah.
You do a reimbursement.
So
you don't
I
get
think
the
what you
sales
need to
tax.
do is, if he wants to call us or whatever, but,
We'll go just
And-
get the new numbers. It's
yeah,
fine.
Yeah.
and I understand the overruns, but it's like, if there's an overrun, you're not gonna put it on a pencil that costs 10 cents and say, well, I'm gonna charge you 10 grand
Yeah.
for the overrun. It has to make sense. So you either beef up your materials, but don't beef up labor and don't beef up tax,
Yes.
okay? Just let them know that.
Okay.
Because otherwise, we're gonna have to go back and forth, and this has gotta get done
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Ooh,
So,
All right, so explain
thanks.
ramp A.
thank you.
Well, you explained ramp A, right? We're keeping the little yellow part and all the rest is new.
Essentially, yes.
And then it's the coping.
And then if you flip ramp B, this would be a completely new ramp. The location would essentially be on the opposite fence from the entrance when you walk in. The whole entire fence side is completely empty. So when you think about the flow of using the skate park, if you use any of the ramps, you just end up at the fence wall. There's nowhere to turn around or do anything. You have to physically move to go back, but then you can't get any speed or momentum to keep hitting other ramps, so it ends up just causing almost confusion within the skate park. So we want to put a nice ramp here. This would be a mixture of like a quarter pipe and a bank. and would fit perfectly along the fence side there. We have all the dimensions and the cost there, which would essentially be cheaper than that. Then ramp C as well. That's gonna be like the main feature that's in the center of the park right now. We call that like a fun box. So essentially we're building a majority of these new obstacle sides over that, which would be very cost effective and also improve that ramp a lot, which would be awesome. Coming just under or over 12 grand, but would probably be ever so slightly cheaper than that anyway. So all of those ramps plus ramp D on the next side, same idea of utilizing all the features that are there and building around it. It would be a best idea possible to make it so it's like stuff that people want to use while keeping the features there, not having to put a lot of money or time into destroying stuff and building new or doing too much repair on those ramps that are there besides fixing some cracks and such. Then the last ramp, ramp E, this would be essentially, these two boxes are where those bumps were, so this would be replacing those bumps that we talked about. So essentially turns into these two grindable boxes, which replace that one that we got rid of, as well as that front lip on the kicker there for the concrete. Which in the grand total scheme of everything, on the second to last page here, we are probably gonna end up being under our 110 grand target. So
So I have a question too you can ask. Is that, all of your quotes, the labor is 3 times the amount of the materials. So you're installing $6,000 worth of materials, the coping concrete, but you're charging $24,000 to put in 6,000 worth of materials.
It's very tedious work. It's gonna take a lot.
Well, so tell me how long it would take to do ramp A.
Ramp A, I'd say maybe set up 8 days, 9 days, 4 day, 1 day.
So the 4 day is 1 day,
Yes,
and it's gonna take, you said, how many days?
3 weeks to 4 weeks.
No, just for one,
Oh, just for
just the ramp A.
let's say 10 days total.
So you're saying 10 days total to put in one ramp?
Yes.
but this is a big ramp too, mind
No,
you.
these are just questions I'm
Yeah,
asking,
yeah.
because it's the same thing with ramp B, they're the same size.
So are you doing every ramp, you're setting them all up at once, or so is this like, does every individual ramp get done one at a time?
Well, we gotta set up every ramp one at a time, but as far as like shooting it, we're probably gonna do like 3 or 4 days. So that's
So I saw housing, so the total time that we're talking about this project lasting, are we
Yes.
talking 2 months, are we talking 1 month?
1 month or less.
1
I
month or
also
less.
have to have, like 10, 12 guys down here to do this, so.
Okay. So I went through the materials, and if I got it right, it comes to 20,787.
For all
That's-
the materials.
That's with tax. Without tax, it's 19,565. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This town does not care about stuff like this. The skate park is not going to generate revenue, even if people are going to be using it. I understand that you want to do this. I think it's a great project. I think it would be perfect to have a little half pipe next to that too, because there's so much space next to it.
Of course.
But if you're gonna do this, you gotta factor in that we've already passed the budget that has the budget for this in it, and you're you're $50,000 over that. So just factor that into what's essential and figure out a way that you can do it, that you can get done what you need and what the best is for right now. Or I went on that guy's website, it says he's got volunteers, he's got donations, see if some of that can work into it. But just bear in mind that this is not a project you're going to get much help with. So the more that you can help yourselves, particularly in how you're planning it, the better off you're going to be.
Well, I agree and disagree. first off, this is a business, okay? You have to make money on it, and we're not going to stop you doing that, okay? What the town thinks about it is not exactly moot, but the thing is that we have a certain amount of funds to use that we have to use by the end of the year. We've been granted a lot of money to do this, and this is gonna be our final project. So, whether it's 100 grand or 140 grand, we want it the way that it should be, because it's not gonna be fixed again for another 20, 30 years. So if we're gonna invest in it, we want it to be done right. Okay, I don't wanna do it and say, oh, we had to cut this and cut this, because it's probably in its heyday, it's no doubt the busiest thing here. Basketball, tennis, playground, anywhere. That was packed, okay? So to me, it was always important to make it safe and make it for a place to come, okay? We're never gonna get revenue on it. We don't get revenue in the tennis. We don't get revenue in the playground. So it's really not there for revenue. It's recreational and it's to be safe. But with Brenna's point, sometimes I understand that when you're working on a state or city project, you go, oh, well, they'll be able to afford this and this. Well, yes and no. I mean, we have to treat it like it's our project, like it's coming out of our pockets. So if it comes out to 90 or 100, everything we want, that's great. But the immediate jump on us are, to me, the glaring mistakes which we see on it, the 30% tax, the 24 labor for one thing. I mean, those are the things that's going to make us question. Okay, obviously you're very good at what you do. I've seen what you do, but you have to be really careful when you present and to make sure your figures are correct. Because now we got to go back to you and figure it out. And then I'm going to wonder, well, where are you going to put this money? We'll know I'm going to beef up the concrete. Now, I understand that there's always a 10, 15% that you charge more on in case something happens. You never know. You open up the concrete, and that's not an issue. But you're way above board on this.
Yes.
And it's, maybe it's the way that you categorize the tax, 30%, but you have to know that you got to go by the state tax, which, by the way, you're not going to get the state tax. The state tax, because we're tax exempt, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then, what was my chain of thought? But the point is that it's just, and the labor. So so your labor is going to be your labor. You can't charge tax on that. So what I would do is get your quote, make sure that it matches up. Don't beef up your materials just because you're not going to get the tax money. That is what it is. But on your labor, generally when you do a labor quote, you just don't, a poor day, 9 grand. And then you got another thing of 15 grand. Well, how many hours, how many men? That's how you should do it. You just can't assume, you may just use 5 guys a day, and otherwise we got to go down and check it out. So you really got to say 8 guys, 8 hours, 5 days. So that's how it has to go. We just can't have a certain thing for a job this thing as far as labor goes. So it has to be more precise, okay? Because we got to get this passed, and this is a big part. It's not a lot of ARPA money, and there's very intelligent people going to look at this and go, what is this? So the more detailed, the better. Because when we get bids, we have to look at this. A smaller project, if it's, $5,000 thing and it's whatever labor, but this is huge. So please be more precise.
Yes.
Please figure out, also put on there town tax exempt. So you're not going to get any taxes from this. Okay. So be more precise. If you need help on how to do it, I'm glad, because I've done a lot of bids, but just don't come back making the same mistakes. Because we really would love, you guys done great work on it. And if we get it done, I'm sure you may or may not win the bid, but we'd love to have you here, but this is just not a good start. Okay?
Yes.
Thanks.
I have a question. The removal of these pieces, is that cost in here somewhere
That was also included on the labor of making the new ramps.
for each of the things? Those were the laborers. Okay.
Are you carrying up all the tar in there too?
Just the space, it's like a 2.5 foot
Just
space
that?
at the bottom of the ramps.
Yeah,
That's like all like, there's like a big like,
but the rest of the
crevice.
surface is staying?
Regular surfaces are staying, yes.
Okay.
If you even, the other thing is you could see about designing it in a 2-part project. Because if we can't do it all now,
Yeah.
you could always come back another year.
That's what we were gonna at least ask about, like, what are your thoughts on fundraising and like us getting money to put into this project? I know.
Well, if we take this and go to the select board and ask them for ARPA money, it's
It's one part.
It's
Yeah.
one shop.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can
If they
get,
say no,
Yeah.
then we can be.
Paula, do you know if the CPC can do skate parks?
Well, it's recreation.
Let me check.
And
Not to hold you up. Give me one second.
it's already closed
No, I know.
For future.
But for the future,
for the future, yeah.
because
Scott, you
that,
got any questions? Any other questions, Brenda?
no, I'm good.
I mean,
Thank
that
you.
would detain it a whole
You
year.
guys have any other questions?
no,
So you're gonna button up all these numbers,
yes, correct.
and then you can just send the edited version to Peter, and then we don't meet again for 2 weeks.
Sweet.
Michael, any other questions?
No, thank you.
Is this your business or the business of somebody in Pennsylvania?
This is the business of somebody in Pennsylvania,
But
Carlos.
Dickie works for him, so.
Oh, okay, so you're the
Yes.
contractors
He
here.
he works for the business, and then I just happen to work at a local indoor skate park business.
Yeah,
So like we do the same kind of thing all the time, which is really cool.
yeah.
So we have something in town called the Community Preservation Act, which, are you familiar with it?
No.
Basically, money gets taken from taxes every year and it goes into a special fund and they have to spend it in a specific way. But 10% of that has to go to recreation and the state matches it. So if they take in, let's say 100,000, the state will match that or part of it.
Part of it.
They can do skate parks. They can do skate park expansions. There's several towns. So you go to communitypreservation.org and it'll actually tell you all about the other projects in the other towns. They've been doing them. There's about 9 of them here. So you can see what they did. You can see, and just try to factor it in because that's money that's extra money to get it done.
Right, so if the select board won't give us ARPA, then we can.
Or if they do it in a
Do all
2-phase, because they could always, you know.
Right, so, yeah,
Yeah.
But if they only give us part of it,
right.
then we can ask CPC.
You've got options.
But the CPC is
Right.
closed for this year, so
It
it
is.
doesn't happen.
Right.
They won't ask, they won't be able to
No.
apply until next year.
All right, so you guys are gonna button those numbers, get them to Peter. We'll meet back in 2 weeks and we'll make a decision then.
But this is great. I like this design.
Yeah, you clearly put a lot of work into it and we
Yeah.
do appreciate it.
Definitely,
Yeah, because I don't even know where we would have begun
yeah.
on this project.
Yeah.
I love the layout. It's great.
I like the fact that you're gonna use some of the material that you're digging up there.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
ideal skate park would be start fresh and have it be like this crazy thing, but it's so far out of the budget, it would never happen.
That costs so
No.
much money.
Like,
And this is only a small skate
right,
park
right. Yeah,
that you
yeah.
work with, right?
this
This is not big.
This is 10,000 square foot's not bad. A lot of like the local outdoor parks are probably that size, give or take. A lot of them could be bigger. The one I work at is 30,000 square feet, so it's 3 times the size of this.
And that's indoors.
And it's indoors and it's a private owned family business.
Wow.
They even got heat.
Yeah, it's crazy. We're working on a whole build project on that on top of this as well, so
That's awesome.
crazy.
Perfect.
Are there any local places where you've done work?
The last job I worked at was in Providence, Rhode Island.
Providence, Rhode Island?
Yes. So an expansion to an old park.
I was just wondering if there was anything close, we could take a drive and check it out, you know? I mean,
Maybe.
Yeah.
it's always good to see visual, you know, to see
Unfortunately,
actual-
everything is like at least a half hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you either have to go up towards Boston or there's a few in Providence, but yeah.
That's why they're always here.
Yeah.
Right.
In Middleborough took theirs out.
You mentioned them being out of state, but when we started looking into this project, I looked for local,
Yeah,
and there aren't any. Like, we don't have the weather for them to be here. They're all in LA,
oh,
Yep.
Vegas,
And they all build the huge plaza, expensive.
huge with the
skate
big
parks.
holes and
Yes,
the,
it's
yeah.
all concrete. It is very costly, but those are the best ones. So it's crazy.
The
Pretty
best
ups-
ones except
upscale,
your
huh?
homegrown
Yeah.
ones.
But it's pretty cool though. Skateboarding's in the Olympics now, so it's very legit.
Summer Olympics.
This is the second year it'll be in the Olympics.
Wow.
So
Are you guys going?
only go to Paris.
Huh?
It's in Paris this year.
Well, it doesn't, it's only across the
Yeah.
pond.
All right.
Yeah, it's not that far.
All right. Well, thank you guys very
Yeah,
much
thank
for
you
coming.
as well.
Thanks very much.
We're
Thank
looking
you.
forward to
Appreciate your time and effort.
Anytime.
revised.
Great explanation.
Actually, did you have an extra copy of
Yeah.
this proposal?
Yeah.
You can just leave it right there. Fine, thank you.
Last.
Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming in. Do you do all kinds of fancy tricks too? On the skateboard?
We're all pretty experienced.
Yeah, they all think they're Tony Hawk.
We don't like to shoot our own.
We got some full-length DVDs. We'll give you a copy.
Okay.
We make like skate videos. And
Do you wear a
stuff.
lot of protective equipment?
Sometimes.
Yeah, forget DVDs, you guys on YouTube?
Yeah,
Okay,
we got a bunch of YouTube stuff.
okay.
So
TikTok?
I don't.
yeah.
Okay.
None of us. I don't
The
think
skate
any of
park
us.
has
No.
a TikTok.
Oh, it
The one
does?
I work at, yeah.
Cool, all right. I'll look it up on
I'll send
YouTube.
you some stuff for like cool local parks in the area.
Definitely.
Check out just for the sake of it.
I think the closest one would probably be on the Cape from here compared, like in Sandwich or something.
Well, yeah, Plymouth too.
Plymouth
that's
probably,
right,
yeah.
Melissa and I went to
We've been
Plymouth,
to
it was
Plymouth.
quite impressive.
It's a nice one.
Yeah.
It's like a big swimming pool,
Yeah.
Right.
that's all
With
it
no
is.
water.
What?
But no water.
Yeah.
That's what we have at the indoor skate park, but like an
Yeah.
indoor version of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys
Thank
very
you,
much.
guys.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for
Have a
coming.
good night.
Okay. Now it goes back to where do you want to start now? Back at the top.
You're the chair.
Peter Park Commission announcements. Items from the clerk. Review and possible vote on Clear Pond guard and attendant job descriptions. We did that. So do you want to discuss a separate application?
I'm sorry?
I thought we were good.
Well, she said that they have a standard application that they use, but if we needed to put in the vacation on an application, she would redo an application for us. Is that what we really want?
That's what
Or
I'd
do you
like.
just want her to make a note on the applications when she does the interview process?
Well, I think Doug takes care of that too, doesn't he? Doesn't Doug ask them?
He
or-
got handed a basket of crapola in the past couple of years because
Right.
no one says anything until they get to
Yeah.
work. And,
Hey, whatever works, I'm for.
you know,
Right.
I
Whatever
think it's
works.
gonna be done up front.
So, yeah, because if they're not gonna tell you they're going on vacation, then they're not gonna tell you they're going on vacation. They're not gonna say it in the interview and they're not gonna put it on the application.
That's
Well,
why
there's
we're
grounds
asking for it.
Right,
See you later.
right.
I mean, I think it doesn't hurt to put it, to ask. And if their parents are there and they're under 18,
But I
right?
don't, do their parents come in with them?
I don't know
think
how
they
they
do,
do
do
the
they?
interviews. Do you?
No,
I've never been
no.
in an
You-
interview.
You don't need an adult interview, I think maybe 14, but not 16 or 17.
The point is that,
But if you put it on there, then you don't have to worry about it.
that's the point.
All right,
Let's
so,
ask.
Or they can say, I don't know, I'll ask my
Yeah.
parents, and they'll say, all right, well, please get back to me
Yeah,
and let us know.
but we need to ask and we need to have some kind of a checkbox
All right,
because Doug
so-
gets stuck every summer.
we're voting on this, right? Discuss and possible vote on application, oh, that's Doug. Review and possible vote on Clear Pond job descriptions. Go ahead, Paula, make a motion.
I make a motion.
Make a motion, what is your motion?
Right, so it's just the application.
We're making a
Yeah,
motion
just
on
On the
application.
applications with the addition of the question for any planned vacation for during the 9 weeks.
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, all aye. Brenda, did you vote?
Yeah, sorry.
All
You
aye.
here today, Brandon? You okay?
Okay. I mean, if nothing
Just
else, at
quiet.
least, you know, he'll
You
know up
have it in
front,
writing.
but he'll know up front that people are, you know what I mean?
Right.
If we only have 7 applications and we gotta hire them all, at least you're gonna know who's going on vacation.
Right.
And he can
Make that
plan.
determination.
Yep. Agreed.
All right. Review and possible vote on application for Doug Berry. We did that
Did
already.
that.
Yeah,
Discuss the condition of Ted Williams Camp Skate Park.
we
Did
did
that
that.
already.
That's done.
They're gonna get back to us. Discuss and possible vote to submit skate park proposal.
No.
We need to wait. Discuss baseball field conditions and possible solutions.
Oh, boy.
So,
Go ahead.
I wasn't here last Saturday when, but I went through the minutes. We all had the minutes this week of the men's softball saying the baseball fields were gross. And I talked to Josh and Ryan and they're like at a loss. They don't know how to fix that. So,
Well, what it is over time, adding material. The infield is kind of built up.
I walked them. I've
and
seen it.
it drops off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a case where we bring in loom and make it a gradual. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, if
Is
we were to
it-
come in and skin the fields, which is the ideal thing to do, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Okay. Is it the base paths?
No.
Or is it the difference between the infield to the outfield?
No, it's the difference outside of the base path. So you've got the diamond, you got first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the grass part. And what it is if you look at it, there is a drop, and you get the first base line, and then you've got grass, and then it drops off. Probably drops down 6 inches. So when someone's rounding the bases, say someone's coming from second to home, you know, they run through the base path and they're into the grass, and I mean, I've seen it. It happens. You go down. You know.
You roll down?
Well, yeah, because it drops off. So I mean, probably the least costly way to help it would be to fill in and make those more gradual. You know, going from say the first baseline to the dugout and the third baseline to the dugout would be, I think, a lot less expensive than going in with machinery. And what they call skinning is you go in with a dozer and they take out
it off.
6
Take off the
inches
bumps.
off the whole infield.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
I
Okay.
have
See,
one of
the-
those
the-
machines.
Then you have to replant everything, don't you?
I have
Well,
Exactly.
you're gonna have to replant either way, right?
Can they use gravel or something rather,
You couldn't use
No.
on
gravel.
the,
no.
on the slope?
You wouldn't want to use
No.
gravel because it's not going to grow. Grass isn't going to grow. You want grass to grow back. So you want to
Oh,
do it
okay.
with loom, and then you want to seed it and let it. And they got to water it, and hopefully,
Oh.
hopefully we have water like we've been getting all winter. And
I was
grow.
thinking
Soon
because
as we
it's
plant the
outside the
grass, we're not
baseline.
dry right up.
I was thinking because it's outside the baseline,
Right. That's why I'm saying. I mean,
that gravel would just fill in there because they're not playing on it.
but
Won't
the
work.
grass isn't going to grow. It's all grass.
won't
It's
work.
grass now.
Gravel.
Yeah.
That's all grass. So if you put gravel in, grass isn't going to grow.
Which field?
Grass isn't going to grow in
Well,
gravel.
right now we're
But
discussing
they don't use that grass.
Sure they do.
No, I mean,
men's
they-
softball field.
Run
okay.
back and forth across
No,
it. They
here.
run.
Where?
It's part of the
men's
field.
Softball plays here.
It's
Okay,
part of the field.
Right?
my
Lakeland field?
concept was that at the edge
Yes.
of the baseline,
Yes.
it slopes down.
Yes.
So that sloping area is not used to run on.
Well, it is. That's what I was just explaining. If someone's running from second to home, they don't run down the baseline and down the baseline. You run a curved thing, and you run out of the baseline, and that's where they have a problem. It's part of the field.
Okay.
You can't just put junk.
Okay.
You got to put, good material. I mean, you might be able to get away with putting a couple inches of fill, but then you got to put loom on top of it, or else the grass isn't going to grow. And it's good grass there.
But isn't it a clay issue too? Some of the things people complain about.
Well,
that there's not enough and then it drops. And you know how the infields are,
Yeah,
the dirt.
This one.
Don't they complain that there's holes in the dirt? And they want us to fill in those holes?
well, that's our maintenance crew.
Well, but
Yeah,
if we,
but why would they fill? It's basically, we used to have clay. Is there still clay here? I don't know.
Mhm.
So we don't have access to clay, nor have we ever asked.
We buy it. We
No,
pretty
but
much
my
buy it.
point is that as long as I've been down there whenever,
It's field mix, not clay, it's field
yeah,
mix.
field mix. And it's fine if they do it, but we always required the teams to do it.
I know, so I said that at the meeting,
I mean, everybody for years.
and they still
We,
do
we
it.
went and did it. We got the dozer. I mean, we got parents, let's go down and fix it up because it's, nobody else uses the fields but them.
Yep,
So are you saying that if we donated the material, they would do the work?
that's how it's been in the past.
Okay.
Yeah, they do a field day. We dump the material over there. They have all the parents come, get
Yeah.
some pizza and take care of it.
Yeah, if they're willing to do that, I think it's a great.
Well, I-
Well, I don't know why they
proposed it.
wouldn't.
I proposed it, I said, when was the last time you guys had a field day? And they went,
Yeah,
right.
they've never had one.
they have to take care. Now, but here's the other issue, Scott. I had a parent come up to me last week complaining about there and said, I don't understand
Complaining
why
about what?
the condition of the softball field.
So you're
Wait,
over
wait,
John
that's
Pond
another
Park,
field.
'cause
That's a
we're
different-
still talking.
we're talking-
Yeah, but I'm talking in general.
All right, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, because their feeling is that we pay all this money, so we shouldn't be, the park should be taking care of it, but we charge them $22.50. But how much more does the league charge them on top of it? For them to think that they're paying a lot of money, because $22.50 isn't a lot of money to play for 4 months anywhere.
Well, I don't know for
And that
softball,
doesn't,
'cause
that
I
doesn't
didn't
even
look
pay
it
for
up.
that doesn't even pay for the.
No,
cost
but
of
that's
the-
my point. If they're paying 75 or 100, they're gonna think, that's all coming to us.
They're probably paying $1.25.
Soccer, it's 105.
Right, but so that's where people are getting the
idea
point that all the
we're
money's
getting it-
coming to us, and it's their taxpayers' money, and they're taking care of it, which they don't, that's
If
not
you
what it
factor in
is.
the cost to maintain the field, the cost
I'm
to
with
mow it,
you.
the fertilizer, and now we're paying for porta johns, we're gonna run a deficit.
We want a deficit now.
No, I'm saying in the fields,
Yes, that's what I'm
in
saying,
the fields.
but that's the
Definitely.
misconception. They think the
Right.
$100 they're paying is all us, and we get
All-
20%.
All the field money doesn't pay for our salaries.
Yeah,
Not our salaries, our maintenance salaries.
I mean.
yeah, it pays for our
We
salaries.
don't want
I
any
stand corrected.
confusion there.
yeah.
It pays for our salary, because we don't make
Our salaries are zero,
anything.
people.
Right,
Zero.
you're a volunteer.
Right, I'm a volunteer. But what I'm trying to say is, all the money we collect, from horseshoes, from John Pond, from everything we collect, doesn't pay for even the salaries. Never mind going out and buying stone dust, a truckload of stone dust, a truckload of field mix, the porta johns, the fertilizer. I mean, people have to understand, what we charge doesn't pay for the fields.
And that's why I want to raise it every year. So, I mean, I don't know if this is, I know we're voting on one, but I'm sure whatever we do here is going to go all around. But I think as far as the maintenance of the fields, not to include the grass, is that we're glad to donate the materials, we'll drop it off. Your groups take care of it, it's your field, set it up the way you want, because if we do it and we don't like it, we gotta go back,
We're not going back.
we're not going back, but I would rather, like I said, they're not gonna have to pay for the materials. Okay, there's no reason, you can't get parents down there or coaches for one day, because they did it for the batting cage. We didn't know anything about it, right? They set that up, so I have no problems getting field mix or whatever. But I have a problem with us doing the labor on it.
Right, well, we can't afford to do the labor.
No,
No.
I mean,
So-
during the season, I mean, there's barely enough hours in the week for them to mow the grass when it's.
Oh,
they have
yeah.
to mow it sometimes
2 or
twice.
3 times a week, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so let's jump back to men's softball, because they said something about, like, people wouldn't be able to do it, they needed to bring in machinery to fix that,
You
like,
probably need to bring in a bobcat or something.
to spread the loom.
Mm-hmm.
All
yeah,
right.
Hal Marshall
So-
used to do that.
There goes your field.
Is it, are we thinking one field at a time, one field a season, fixing it? Or are we just gonna do men's softball How
No.
do you wanna play this?
They should do it all, I think they
All
should
at
do it all at
once?
once.
Well, it's who's gonna have a field day, and what do they need,
And when.
and we'll tell them what we can provide.
Okay.
Exactly.
You know, we're not gonna be able to provide everybody everything.
Okay,
I'm just saying, because the Little League field has a special turf on there. It's very expensive. We're not gonna be able to buy that. They chose to use that
Right.
turfus.
Yeah, terrific.
They chose to use an expensive grade. They're gonna have to pay for it. But the stone dust is the minimal, the field mix is a minimal, and we usually get some every year.
okay,
Now, the lady that was here said something about, stone dust down to John Pond. Not a problem. Use up what's there, and we'll get some more.
Sure.
Or tell us that you're gonna do all 3 fields on your field day, and we'll get another truckload down there before your field day. But, there's gotta be conversation. They gotta
Okay.
tell us what they need, and then we'll tell them what we can provide.
okay.
And normally it's stone dust, field mix.
Loom, grass seed,
But
maybe
not the
some-
labor, not the labor.
okay,
know.
We'll provide the materials, but not the labor.
okay.
Scott, are we doing just the one field? You were
Well-
talking about other fields.
Well,
Right, so-
are other fields doing a field day? Do they need anything to those fields? The Little League field doesn't have this problem.
Right,
Field
it's
2
only that
doesn't
one
have this-
field, right?
Doesn't have this problem. Field 4 does a little bit. Field 1 does. But Field 1 was also the field that nobody wanted to claim. So for the last 15 years, no one's done any field work on it because it's not their field, other than men's softball.
Okay.
And they haven't done anything.
So Paul, what we decide is a blanket for everybody. Whatever groups wants to get it done,
Right.
they'll
Yeah.
get the field day. What do you need? If we can provide it, we'll give it to them,
We'll let
and
them
then
know
we're
what we can
done.
get 'em.
It's gonna be the same rule for all the leagues.
Right, but
Meaning
I
stone
didn't
dust
know
field
if you
mix.
wanted to start with the softball field.
No,
Or you
it's-
wanna
Well,
do
they
all.
approached us, right? So I think we
Well,
need to go back to them and
right.
say, plan your field day, let us know what you need, and we'll discuss.
And we'll tell you what we
Yeah.
can give you, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
If
decide what we
if
can
only one league's approaches, then that's great. If 2, then we'll do 2.
Right.
So whoever approaches us, then we'll ask them to do a field day and what they need. We'll decide what we can give them. If they all want to do it in April, great. If only one wants to do it, then that's fine too.
Okay,
Because I think for me, it hasn't been leagues. Like, softball's the first one to approach us as a collective. Here we are, let's fix this. Everything else has been parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles coming to say, your fields are in bad shape. Your fields are in bad shape.
They're not in
Nobody's
that bad a shape.
We know.
nobody's come and said, let's do something about it as a league. Because we can't say, yes, Mr. whoever or grandpa, whatever, let's do the field. Like, it's
Maybe
gonna be the
one.
league that comes to us. Okay, so that's taken care of. We don't have to vote on that. We're good. Everybody's in agreement that that's what we're gonna do?
Yep.
yeah.
Well, how are they gonna know
How are who gonna know?
that this is what we,
Email?
Well, Peter's gonna reach out to softball, and I hope they watch our meetings.
Yep, and you could say if you're planning a field day, let us know. We'll probably be able to help you with stone dust field mix.
Yep.
We
work
just
with
need
you.
to know in advance. It's not something that's gonna happen. You can't call us on a Thursday and say you're having it Saturday,
Right.
because we'll never get it
Can't
there.
get it there.
But, we can email them, the different, teams that are on the field.
Email them all.
See if we get a
Peter's got it.
response.
You can email them all.
He's
Okay.
all over it.
It'd be nice to see Bloomer Ball step up and come help softball.
Yeah. We discussed that last year when softball has their field day, they need to invite
They
Blooper
need to
Ball.
let Bloomer Ball know.
Yep. Discuss and possible vote on CPP playground removal. All right, I know we talked about this last time, that the playground has to go. So the DPW can remove the playground for us, but they want to know where we want to store it. And we need to vote to say, yes, the playground needs to come down.
Can we
Well,
store it
first
in
of
the
all,
garbage?
why would we be storing it?
Well, because I asked the question and I haven't got a clear answer yet. Does the playground have to go on the list of things to get rid of? Like the unwanted list?
I
What's
think
it called?
everything does, supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't just rent a dumpster and throw it in, like, or take it off a scrap.
Well,
Like, it's
who
gotta go through
takes
the
it?
process.
Or who takes this if it's unwanted?
That's not it. We have to get permission to get rid of our own
Permission.
stuff.
From whom?
Well, it has to go
That's
through
the
this
problem.
process and they have to sign off on it. The select board ultimately signs off on it.
Got it. Okay, I mean, I make a motion to dispose of it.
Nice second.
So maybe.
And
we
that's
can-
that's the one at Clear Pond, am I correct?
Yes, on the beach.
Okay, and it has nothing to do with John Pond.
Nothing to do with John
Okay.
Pond.
The Clear Pond Playground.
Oh, okay,
The one that's held up by cinder blocks.
got it.
It's gotta go, it's so bad.
So yeah, as long as maybe I reach back out and we go to the select board and say, can we put this on the, but don't they only do that once or twice a year?
I don't know.
Well, if they don't want kids getting hurt in Clear Pond, they're gonna have to get over it and approve it, because
Yeah.
it's not good. There's
It's-
rusty
And,
metal.
and would, the DPW Frank, would he be the person that gets rid of it?
Oh, no.
They'll
No?
take it out for us as long as it's before their busy season, which is mid-spring.
Yeah.
So, but
So
his
he can
question
remove
to
that.
us
I would,
was
yeah.
where are we gonna put it? Like when
Yeah.
he takes it out and we're waiting it for to get on that list, what are we gonna do with it?
Oh, I thought maybe he had a junk pile or
Can
something.
he put it near the basketball court? Or can he put it near,
Why are we keeping it?
well, if we can't dispose
we
of it,
can't
it
dispose
has
of it
to
right
come out
away.
either way, but if
I
we,
thought Frank would have a place where he would dispose of it if he takes all this stuff out.
I don't think he
Doesn't
gets,
he
I don't,
put
he
it in a
doesn't
truck
get
and
rid of
take
a
it
lot
to
of
the
metal.
dump?
So,
so,
Could you ask him, he might be taking this to a metal place or the dump or something like that.
They,
Yeah, but
they
he-
generally have someone come and pick it up.
right,
We would call the recycling guy down here in 18, he would come and pick it up once it's out.
so,
Okay.
well, it's gonna be out on the list.
so why don't we have him remove it and put it
On the
behind,
basketball court.
well,
We're not
behind,
using
Behind the shed,
Behind
between
the
the
shed.
shed and the fence.
where the entrance is, where that gate is.
Okay.
Yeah, but just not in front of the gate. I think there's some other
Right, cause
pieces
you
of it
can't
are there.
block it.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the right. Yeah,
can take
that's a
them
good
all.
idea. That way it's out of
Yeah.
the way, we can cordon it off if we need to. All right,
And
Brenda,
along with the other pieces that are there.
okay,
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of extra,
yep,
I
that's,
don't know what.
yep, Scott just mentioned. All right, Brenda motioned to remove the, playground. Is there a second?
A second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Okay.
Okay. Scott, did you say no?
No, I didn't say no.
Did you say yes?
Yes. I was a little delayed.
All
I
right,
was waiting for Scott, cause I'm
Oh,
voting
I-
whatever he's doing.
because you
tonight.
guys are making faces at each other across the,
But we haven't voted no in a while, so we figured.
and you haven't abstained for a while either,
I
so I
know.
figure you're due. All right, so that's done. Review and possible vote on co-ed blooper ball application for field time. Last week or last meeting, we decided to wait for women's blooper ball. Has that come in yet?
I sent an email to, women's blooper ball and also the youth softball, notifying them of this and asked them to get back to me before this meeting.
Yeah, I think we have to have them all in front of us.
Well, the thing is, that for processing, from an ease of processing point of view, it helps just to get this in motion.
Right.
And the schedule is the exact same as last year, and it worked.
But they don't start till July. So it's not like
Yeah,
they start
well,
in
I'm
April.
just telling you, Mark Tisdale got back and said the only potential conflict he saw was, their tournament, which they've scheduled for August 15th to 18th. But other than that, he didn't have any problem with it.
August 15th, is that a Friday?
15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, I think it's Thursday through Sunday.
It's 4 days, 15, 16, yeah.
So we'd have to let them know that those days are out.
Right, yeah, so we could approve it, but without those days.
Did we? I mean, 6 to 10, that's afternoon time when the kids would be playing.
Yeah, didn't he mention something about that too, if they could start later?
Yeah, I've emailed him back on that, because again, the schedule that he had last year was the exact same as what is being presented here by co-ed blooper ball, and there was no problem with it at all. So I don't understand what it was.
The times too?
Yep,
Right, well, you know I don't like to make your life harder,
Well,
Peter, but I
whatever,
think we should
you can
move
do
on.
it either way, but my point simply is that, it's the exact same schedule as last year, which they worked fine with. And they worked around the, tournament. You can hold off if you want, but,
When do they start?
Maybe they'll get their ones in for next meeting and we can go over them. Okay, review and vote code blooper ball, pass, review and possible vote on, there was a, error in the, on the agenda that none of us caught. Review and possible vote on FLSC, Freetown Lakeville School Committee, application for field
I
time.
did
Yeah, I was
Soccer
wondering
club.
about that.
I looked and I was like,
No,
what?
that's Freetown Lakeville Soccer Club.
Freetown Lakeville School
It
Committee.
says school committee on it.
But the initials
Oh,
are
I didn't
soccer
see that.
club.
But
And I thought maybe it was a
FLSC
high school
FLSC is
function.
Freetown Lakeville Soccer Club.
Yes.
where does it say?
And
school
also
committee?
Freetown Lakeville School Committee. It's in the parentheses.
Number 10.
I highlighted it on this one.
Number 10.
Oh, you know something? The town clerk added that. That was not what I put in there.
The town clerk added that.
I submitted it just with FLS.
And she just decided that she thought it was school
The
committee.
school committee.
Yes.
Okay.
That way to deflect, Peter, good job.
Oh,
Hear that buzz, Lillian?
it's for the LA.
Yeah, deflection feet.
That's gonna come back. Okay. All right. Do you want to go over soccer some? One. My question was, they checked off season 1 April to July and season 2 August to November. So are they applying for both seasons now?
The fields are gonna be ready in April?
Well, on the bottom it says April to July.
What are you
field's
talking
ready
about?
Yeah.
The parking lot.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh, the
can't use-
north
You can't
fields.
use the field yet.
Yeah.
Oh, because they asked for Ted Williams soccer fields, North Fields. So they're just looking for the North Fields?
We told them there's no set time for the north fields. Don't plan on them until we tell you that you can use them. Don't assume it's gonna be April 1st, April 15, May, because there's certain things we need to take care of first. So if it's done, great, but we said, plan on doing it up here, and we'll give you 2 weeks notice, and you can do whatever. So we never gave them a date, nor would we give them a date.
Okay. Okay, so we'll remove the North Fields. What about start date? Is that supposed to be an actual date or just April to July, which they've already set up top?
They start 1st of April. I mean,
April
the
1st?
spring leagues, some of the games, depending on the date, could be March 30th and March 31st.
Okay. I went on their website today and it was spring development soccer. It's $105 for the season and it runs from April 27th to June 8th. And they have games on Saturdays with no practice during the week. In grades 5 to 8 have 1 hour on Saturday, 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. with 1 practice during the week, but they're not even guaranteeing that they're gonna have that week. So I guess,
But that doesn't include the travel program. The travel program is the heart and soul of the spring soccer.
okay. And when do we know that?
What do you mean, when do we know that? Should
Like-
be listed on their website.
It wasn't.
I don't know what to tell you.
And-
The fall league is the in-town, that's the big in-town program. I know, I'm just saying. The spring is a developmental league for
Yeah.
the younger kids and a travel program that runs from U8s, or whatever they call them now. I don't know, 3rd graders, whatever, but anyhow, U8s to U16s. If they have a team, then they have a team, but that was always the heart and soul of the
Is that a
Spring.
fall program or a
spring soccer, travel.
That's spring too. Travel program spring. And do they charge it, is that a different application and a different,
I don't know. I haven't been part of the soccer league for 10 years.
when you were there, was it a different
Yes.
application and a different
Yes.
fee?
It was a different fee, yes. You just signed up. We had one thing. and you signed up, but you checked the box whether you were playing in the travel program or you were playing in the spring development. Because the spring development was just in town, 6 or 8 weeks, one game, a
Yep.
little practice to get them to introduce them to soccer, and it was very low key. It was very cheap, and the spring travel, when my kids played, they were $100, so I'm sure it's more because they get a better uniform. There's more to it. The development league's probably going to get a T-shirt and some socks.
Yeah, it had on there whatever they were.
Yeah.
Whatever they had. Okay. Because I just go back to them taking every hour on every field for the whole season, where the only thing they have listed on their website is Saturday mornings. I don't know.
The travel program plays Saturdays and Sundays, and they have practices all throughout the week. Not multiple practices, but because you have 15 teams, different teams practice on different nights.
Are we going to wait for women's soccer to approve this?
Didn't we already get women's soccer?
Did we get women's soccer?
We have received it, yeah, but I haven't brought it up here yet.
Because that would affect I think they
Sundays.
weren't starting until 4:00 on Sundays.
I thought they started at 3.
They start at 3.
How come they
and-
put Sunday 7 AM to 4? Is that, I'm looking at the application for field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we postpone this 2 weeks and see what progress is made at North Fields before we worry about this? Because if they have North Fields,
Listen, it's not gonna be ready by April 1st, so let's just get that out.
okay.
Well, I'll let you guys give you 2 weeks notice when we'll be able to use it, but it's not gonna be ready by April 1st, so.
Is it gonna be out, ready this year?
Oh, 100%, but
Well,
we have a late start with the weather and dealing with things that we had roadblocks that we're going through, but it's
Okay.
definitely not by April 1st.
Maybe late spring?
I hope April 15th.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, can we explain this 7 AM to 4 PM on a Sunday for soccer? I thought that they didn't play.
No, I just said that. They play travel games either Saturday or Sunday. Different leagues play on different days.
But this is not travel, this is our field.
They play home games and they play away games.
Yeah,
So home games would be on our fields.
but we don't know when.
It doesn't tell you. You'd have to go on the SCSL website to get a schedule.
If they have, did they have it?
no.
That's the SCSL website, not the Freetown Lakeville website.
SESL.
No, SCSL, South Coast Soccer League,
SC. See.
unless it's changed names, but that's what it was.
It's hard to follow if they, I don't know what the hell they.
All right. So we'll hold this till next meeting?
Yeah. And then maybe co-ed blooper ball, we might hear from them at the same time.
Well, women's
Oh, I have
blooper
a check,
ball
I have a
and
check for the
women's,
electric women's blue ball. I forgot.
and women's
Sorry.
soccer. Review and possible vote on Northfield sign placement and possible postponement of street sign and fenced-in area
Kim,
/ bleachers.
Can we skip that now and do all the minutes, because I want to do everything at once at the end.
Sure.
People, you guys are gonna be tired, so.
So you don't want us to pay attention? So you're gonna wait till we're.
No, listen, I didn't do all this, but you don't have to pay attention.
Nope. Review and vote to approve minutes of January 18th. That's the thick one.
I skimmed it. I didn't meticulously go through it, and it all looked right to me.
I went through it and there was one error on page 5. It's a spelling error, I think. At the very bottom, under Michael Smith corrected the previous announced costs. The camera is $40. I think you meant versus, Peter, versus the previously reported $140. It says
It's
vice.
$40 a
Yep.
month versus $139.
Yeah, well, he wrote vice, I think.
Yep.
It's just a typographical error.
Good catch, Paul.
What I do, read reports all day.
I have page
No wonder I'm
3
confused.
towards the bottom, 2 lines up from item number 7,
Which,
page 3
What day?
okay,
of that same day,
okay,
the 18th.
okay.
It was agreed to leave the electricity connected but no longer charge the FLAA for electricity since they will no longer be using it. I thought we decided because there were only chairs in it that we were gonna stop that electricity.
No, what paragraph are you on? Cause I think I know the answer, but I can't find it.
Item number 7, 2 lines above that.
Oh, okay,
I thought it would cost more to disconnect the electricity.
I think we
Well,
just,
it's $9 a month.
we decided we would not shut that down because it costs more to restart it.
But what are we restarting it for? Chairs don't need electricity.
Hmm.
So if
Right.
the baseball's not gonna use it, because it's $100 a year to keep it running. So if we,
Maybe it was an error, did we,
I don't know.
We definitely decided to keep it.
to keep it on,
Definitely.
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
change it
That's
if you
what the
want in
minutes
this
say.
meeting,
that is what the minute.
but that's what,
We're
yeah,
the only
They also
ones
say
that use
vice.
it.
yeah, I don't know why we said to keep it
Okay.
on, but we did.
as far as the minutes are concerned, that's what we decided.
Okay. Page 4. Three lines above the little diagram at the bottom. Paula Poole said that skate park should be improved first. We need to add a "the" in there. Said that the skate park should be improved first. That was it.
English teacher.
Well. Okay, any other corrections or questions on those minutes from January 18th? Do we have a motion to accept them?
I make a motion to accept the minutes from January 18th.
With those changes.
Second.
Bruna seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimously, aye. Okay, February 1st minutes. Any corrections or errors? On page 3, under item 12, capital projects update. 1 to 3rd line. The main sign must be a certain distance from the road, which is a county road. It's not a county road, it's a state road. Does the county have roads?
Yeah, County Road.
Which is also a state road.
Yeah.
What paragraph was that, Melissa?
It's right before
12.
your arrival. You
Item
were
number
here.
12.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Do we have a motion to accept February 1st minutes?
Motion with the change of state road.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Okay, Thursday, February 15th minutes. Any items or corrections? Page 3, very last bolded paragraph, motion by Brenna Donahue to more forward the leap year lantern festival. That needs to change to move. Any other corrections? We have a motion to accept the February 15th minutes.
So made.
All right, Brenna can make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Saturday, February 24th minutes. I figured out that Kerry Bogdan was the lady who was asking about being written in. So if anybody wants to write her in.
I don't know if I have those.
What? Written in what?
On our election, on our ballot for write-in candidates.
The parks?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's my neighbor.
She's your neighbor?
Yeah.
Did she used
I
to,
told her about it, and she said, don't tell him not to write me in.
Don't tell him not to write her in?
I told her about what goes on here, since I can't deal with
Yeah,
people
oh,
like you.
stop it.
But did you tell her you're leaving? So it's all good. All right, any other, any corrections? Anybody? All right. First paragraph, third line. Scott Holmes said our plan is to whatever. So we need to add said between Scott Holmes and our plan. I'm assuming, I wasn't there. I did have a question. In the next paragraph, it's just a question, not an error. Dale said he will talk to Ryan about working on the fields. I thought we decided that the leagues were not to talk to Ryan about issues. They were to come to us and we would talk to Ryan about the issues.
I believe that was what we decided.
I thought we had a, so I don't think that Dale should be talking to Ryan, is more or less moral of that story. Any discussion about that?
No, that's what we decided, that's what we decided, it was an error on our part of the meeting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
No,
I mean, there
that's
was kind of
fine.
things coming from everywhere at that point.
Yep, nope, I just,
Yeah, no, good point.
cause I remember there was soccer with the head, and it was a whole thing. All right, Andrew Rodriguez reported that Freetown Lakeville Soccer Club has registered 258 players in 19 teams. But on his application, I think it said 18 teams. It's only one team, so it's not a big deal.
Team
It's
is
just-
spelled wrong. Sorry.
Yep, she's
So
not
it's
wrong.
18?
Also,
I don't
this
know what it
answer,
is, 18 or 19.
this answers the question. It says they'll begin playing at the end of April. So for their application, it's not the first. It
Well,
is.
they'd stop practices.
Yeah.
Beginning of April.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying that's,
Or
Yeah,
would they have
because
a,
it doesn't, it says begin play, it doesn't say
population?
games or whatever, but that, whatever.
Population.
Good,
Two.
thought.
I don't
Yeah.
think they'll all be there at once.
All right, 4 lines up from the bottom of the page. Andrew asked about using the old fields for practice and the new fields for games. Scott said that they would like to give the new fields a break as much as possible. Are we talking that we want to give the new fields a break, or we want to give the old fields a break?
oh,
old?
Old fields. Okay.
I just thought maybe we weren't using the new. I don't know. Okay, next page. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th paragraph down, second line. Britta Donahue encouraged the representatives to attend the open hearing on the Community Preservation Committee on February 29th. He said it was important that the CPC hear from others. We need to change that to she.
We still need water.
What?
No, I just read that part, why we still need water. It was more about encouraging them to about the design, not so much that we still needed water at John Pond Park. I get your change. I'm just saying the line itself, thank
Alright.
you.
I was like, no, I just wanted them to change it to she.
It was more about making sure we kept that grant, or
Okay.
that fund.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines up from the bottom. At 7:40 a.m., Kerry Bogdan, Dave Slutes, Dale Simmons left the meeting and everyone else proceeded to the North Fields. The meeting didn't start till 9. Was it 9:40?
9:40. 9:40. Jeez.
All right, anything else? A
Just a vote
motion
on
to,
it?
what?
Go ahead.
No, I'm
sorry.
done. That was like the third line from the bottom. Go ahead, Michael, you can motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of
February 24th.
February 24th with any changes.
Yep.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
I
Aye.
Aye.
That was a long minutes, thing.
Great job, Peter.
That was a lot.
thank you.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
Let's not have it happen again, okay?
All right.
At least while you're still here.
Well, you're still here. So, like, was that 4 more meetings?
You never know, I may stay
3
on.
more meetings?
You should.
Thank you, Brandon. Do I have your vote?
Yes.
I have a sign with your name for select person on my
No, I
lawn.
don't want. Do you really?
No,
Okay,
Okay.
good. 'Cause
it's
I
a
didn't do-
cul-de-sac. Nobody goes down
I
there.
didn't do
Yeah,
any
nobody-
finance stuff.
I had
Okay,
to put it up by.
capital
Uptown
projects update.
That's gonna be with the other stuff.
All right, so
As
we'll do it
far as
all
I'm
at once.
concerned, yes. I'm gonna get
Any other
everything.
capital projects updates? The CPC has accepted our step 1. So we have to do step 2 for the 585 feet of fence.
What's the step 2?
Well,
It's more in depth.
Meaning,
once they approve it, we have to go through another big process with all kinds of material to submit
I see.
and
Okay.
do a write-up about the project.
Okay, why you need it and
Yeah,
all of
it,
that.
it goes on.
Who it
and on.
affects.
They want a lot of
did-
paperwork too.
They want, yeah.
They want a what?
A lot of paperwork, I can tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be kind of like just about the RFP, all set and ready to go.
Didn't you just say they were done for,
Yeah,
So
the
there's,
application process has closed and that's why we're past step 1, so you can't turn in an application now because they're already moved on to step 2.
okay,
okay.
which is when?
Did you get?
When's the deadline for
the
that?
form for step 2?
I do, I have to think.
When is the deadline for step 2? Is it April?
I believe it is. I don't have the paperwork with me, but,
Which is only 3 weeks away, like it seems.
yeah,
So
and
for
It's
required,
flying.
for required attachments, they want a detailed description of the project, copies of the deeds, description of property, maps, surveys, site plans, appraisals, purchase and sale agreement, cost proposals and estimates, budget for acquisition or construction, letters of commitment by additional funding sources, letters of support from individuals or organizations, and a box that says, does this project require a review by the CPC?
For a fence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well,
For
not
fence, you
all of
need all
those
of
things
that.
are going to apply. I mean,
Okay.
I don't need
Purchase
a
and sale
deed.
agreement?
I mean, I
Well,
don't
that we
need all
don't need
this.
because it's town property.
Purchase and
But some of it
sales,
is
but-
private property, so.
Oh, I see.
Let me find it.
This is, it shouldn't be all that much, but it'll still need maps and this and that. And I think a letter from, I've already asked Doug to write a letter of, I don't know, what's it, support.
Hey, Mike, you're closing us out.
Okay. I don't know what you have in your folder, but we'll go over that.
March 29th, Peter,
March
For what?
29th?
is the deadline for step 2, and then the meet.
Are
on
you
the-
serious?
Yeah.
I thought it was in April. I'm gonna go home and check my papers, but
Okay, spin your chair.
what?
Spin your chair.
You didn't notice Mike's,
Oh, Warren's class.
Yes. So, this started a year and a half ago? This project about?
For the parking lot?
Yeah.
10
Oh,
years
no,
ago?
I'm saying between you and I, when we got involved, it was at least a year and a half ago,
At least.
at least. All right, so this is what's been going on. First, I wanna, reach out to, Nate Darling for making me aware that we did have some restrictions, which, put it this way, Scott and I never saw this until we got it from Nancy Yates.
Mhm.
So she was a big help on this. And, well, I'll just go back. Back in 2011, we signed an agreement with the Mass Endangered Conservation and Management permit we got from the Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. And Scott, you correct me on the history. Why don't you bring up why this was done? And who did it? Why?
Originally, it was gonna be down in the pit,
Right.
but then the turtle,
No, I'm talking about why these fields. Whose idea was it to get the fields done and how was it?
that goes back before me.
Okay, so
Oh.
you weren't a part of this.
Not the original clearing of the lands, no.
Okay.
No, that was Deanie Hopkins, Darrell Burney, and Mike Nolan.
Okay.
oh.
So let's look.
Michael, you're talking away from the mic. Can you like?
Come on.
Stand on the other side.
No,
Yeah,
don't yell into
I
it.
feel like Frank Sinatra now. Okay, so there's two maps here. This map this is coming into the street, off Bedford Street. Guys, can't you give me a lavalier? This comes off Bedford Street. This is where we're gonna talk about the signs, the arrows going in. So it was agreed upon to build these fields, okay? We had restrictions. You guys don't have we didn't make a copy of
No.
a couple of them, right?
They got it originally, but that was
All right,
a month ago.
so anyway, to build these fields, we had to identify 10 acres of open space.
20.
You can see that here, okay? If you really want to see it down here, it goes further. Now, you should have a map in your folder. It'll give you a better detail. Sorry, Polly, you gotta do this. You have that? You have that map?
Yeah,
And that's both of them
I-
together.
You're good, Paula. I know that one.
okay.
Okay. So this is pretty much the same thing, but we'll show it over here. So this is this. So I think we went down there, I don't know if everybody went down there,
No,
but
I
it,
don't think so.
but we walked down there.
We have, but not everybody on
Okay.
Saturday.
I don't think Melissa was there.
I
Yeah,
went,
I took
just the other
Melissa
day.
yesterday.
Okay.
So at the end of this field, there's an opening, okay? And to do these fields, we had to make an agreement to do 10 acres of open space. Okay, so there is 10 acres of open space. But with that agreement,
Wait.
what?
The field's up here.
Yeah,
This is
I'm
the
sorry.
parking lot. That's right, I just want you to.
Okay,
get that
I'm
right.
doing that because I don't
I
have
know,
space.
I understand, I just wanted,
No, but he's right. So anyway, there's 10 acres of open land there. But Conservation Commission in this agreement says that we have to use 3.5 acres. 3.5 acres for habitat management easement, which is the turtle blights, okay? So what was supposed to happen is, once that was identified, we were supposed to either have berm or a fence there, okay, put around, signs that say, do not enter or restricted area, okay? And then we were also to do every 4-year report on there. So we hire a environmental person to come in and do a report on how it's been handled. Has there been any, first off, are there any in there? If they are, what is their migratory pattern? They'll know that after the next 4 years, okay? So part of that agreement is that we do that every 4 years, okay? And, but this hasn't been done, okay? This is not, the open space was fine, but we've never boxed off for the eastern turtle, okay? So if you go back there, the road has been, listen, that open space area has been trampled on too. We've had trucks dump fill there. We've had ATV marks, bikes, people walking dogs, which deer, which, whatever, don't be smart. So,
I heard there was a coyote with mange hanging out too, so I'm sure
Right.
there's in there.
so without blocking an area for the turtles, it was being destroyed back there, which isn't the purpose of this. They're very strict on here, okay? I've
yeah, but
studied it.
where people were walking wasn't really the 3.9 acres you're talking about.
No, but the point is they didn't know
No, I-
where it was supposed to
I
be.
understand that, but I'm saying that section of that open area down there, that's the 3.9 acres, no one really goes in there, with the exception of some wood being dumped in there and different things
Right.
like that. The people walk closer to the hill, closer to the left side of this.
Agreed upon, but if they were to come, they would assume
Agreed.
that that whole 10 acres was for the eastern box turtle.
Agreed.
That's my point. And I agree with you there, but trucks shouldn't have been back there.
You-
And we had big dump trucks going back there. It was kind of a dumping ground for fill if you go back there, okay? So what I've done immediately is, John Malidi and I showed Melissa, we snow fenced in that area, okay? So if people walk by there, they're not gonna be able to get into that Buxton area. I've ordered signs, or I'll show you the signs that I ordered. We're gonna put them down. And, but the other things that we have to deal with is, we have to come up with a plan, and I can do this, that's gonna show us what we need to do. Because once this is done, Then we're gonna have to have someone come in and do an environmental thing for us. All right, they got the eastern thing, we're gonna go in to see if there's any turtles, you know, they've met the requirements of doing this, and then it's gotta be sent to the foundation. It's gotta be done every 4 years. So chances are, the Parks Commission is gonna be paying someone $800 every 4 years to do this. Okay, so budget-wise, put it in there. The other thing, and I think Melissa brought it up today, that the other part of this agreement to do this is that another 10 acres of open space and turtle conservation had to be done up by Highland Road.
Howland Road.
Howland Road. And you said what today?
There were 3 conservation lands off of Howland Road that were already there. We just don't know which one.
So there were no
we're using.
signs,
No signs.
and no signs for turtles in it. So I'm just gonna turn that over to the open space and I'm not gonna worry about that.
Conservation.
Yeah. Well, I gotta talk to Nancy about that. So where we stand now is, I'm taking care of that right now. Getting the signs so that we can go forward with the other things that we need to go forward on. So right now, we're at a dead still. Standstill? Dead still? Standstill. We're at a standstill because we were told that there's a small pile here, right, Scott? That's about where it is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's another big pile here because of a turtle sweep. Well, we don't have to do a turtle sweep until we figure this out here, okay? And we normally wouldn't do a turtle sweep out here, we do the turtle sweep in the open space area. So, right now it stands with no drains, nothing. So if you go down there, you're gonna see a lot of silt and everything going down. So I talked to Clancy, he came, was it Monday we went down? And I talked to him yesterday. I had sent a letter to Frank and to the select board, because Frank wants nothing to do with this. Okay, this is in our hands now, okay? But the weird part is this whole agreement in 2011 was signed by the select people, copies to conservation, planning, but there was never a copy to the parks.
I was gonna say, everybody but us.
Yes, parks knew nothing about this. So that's, and the other reasons, I'm not blaming any other committee for this because this was 13 years ago. And these boards have changed how many times in 13 years? So if they don't know about it, then who's gonna say anything? It's the same with what's going on in Howland. So it's in our hands now. So I had sent him a note that I need to bring this thing up to speed environmentally. And I told Frank I would keep him in the loop, but he's fine with that. So what we're gonna start immediately next week is we're gonna put this drain in now, okay? This drain, correct me, water comes down here from here, which is gonna be sloped down, okay? This drain is going to go up, around, and down, correct, Scott? If you look at the plans,
You know what, I've never seen the plan, so I can't tell you.
the engineering plan, okay.
I
It goes to where,
It goes eventually to the,
yes, it goes to where that opening is, where the open space is.
right, on the other side of the
On the other
field,
side
there's a-
where
there's
it's
a culvert.
sloped.
There's a stone
The
culvert.
Stone culvert.
Does it go under the field?
It goes,
No,
it gets
it's gonna
dug,
go around the.
it goes around, but it's
Oh,
dug,
it goes
it's
around.
dug under.
Years to get the extension.
So, we need to do that before we do anything else, okay? Because he needs, the only thing that is really completely done is this road with the that's a combination asphalt or whatever.
Millings and.
So what he needs to do is, on this pile here, the small pile is gonna be loam, you think?
It's
gonna be a
primarily
mix of loam.
Loom
and whatever.
and screened dirt.
Which we can use at other places. The big pile has got materials that we can use for the parking lot, hopefully,
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he needs that also. So what he's gonna be starting to do is gonna put in the drain, and then he's gonna start grading and sloping, on all sides. And then he's gonna use this material to pack it down. He still needs to,
I have a question,
yeah, go ahead.
and I'm not,
No.
is this a separate drain also?
Yes,
Because I was gonna say,
this is great to put a drain here
Mhm.
to catch the water going this way.
Yeah.
But what about all the water that's sitting here?
Where are you here? Well,
This is the end of the
yeah.
parking lot.
He's gonna do this and he's sloping. here.
Okay, so he's gonna, like a French drain that
A
goes.
French drain that goes down here.
Okay.
So there'll be no, now obviously I don't know what's gonna happen on the fields. I don't know what the drainage is on
But the
that.
fields are okay.
But the
And-
fields
and I
should
think
be
if-
okay.
If you pull the water away from the parking lot,
Right.
they'll dry up wherever they're wet, but they're not, I mean, they're drier over there
Mhm.
than these fields are over here
Great. So
right now.
that's what needs to get done now. Mr. Milady, who's doing the fencing, is not gonna do the fencing until this is 100% done. Okay, because he can't. He still has to roll out some areas here. This will be to grade. It's gonna look so much different. And he's amazing what he does. He really is. So I think the end result is gonna be good. It's just that we had to deal with these roadblocks here. So one of the things that I'm gonna do until we figure out the turtle thing is the fence is, when it gets sunny, I'll take you guys down there to show you what it is. But we're blocking with the snow fence any access to that 10-acre open space. Once we're done with the turtle thing, and the guy says, good, then we'll open it up so people can go by. But for now, I don't want people through there, because maybe there's a turtle or something that's past that, okay? So, which is no problem, I'm gonna have signs that say that.
Plus, aren't we gonna block off the left end of that parking lot?
Yes.
From
Yep.
the road?
Yep.
Mr.
All right.
Clancy's gonna be working there anyhow, so.
Yep. So, all right, let's get to ideas. Now. All right, so everybody saw at the meeting last week, we're just gonna use this, okay? This is Bedford Street, correct?
Yep.
Bedford Street. So we had discussed many things there. The thing I wanna bring up now is signs. If you look in your folder, you'll see a sign. What we were gonna do and what we had discussed, we had that telephone pole here, okay? That's where the state road is. We can't put anything permanent past that state pole line. Now on this here, we got sloped hills here. Now, can we put signs there? I think yes, eventually. Do I want to put them there now? No, because I don't think it makes any sense. And I'll tell you why. My purpose is that these signs are going to be expensive. You're talking about for 2 signs around $3,500.
What kind
Okay.
of signs are you putting in for $3,500?
They're the signs that would say,
Big? What size?
well, they're decent.
Like the ones coming in the Precinct Street side.
Yes. No. That's an alternative. So anyway, Paula, I'll
Precincts?
The one I just
You
painted.
mean like that board, that signboard out in the
No.
precinct?
No, the one with the
It's not a
baseball
sign. What's
player
a
in front
sign?
of the police station.
I'm thinking of the one where.
no, we're talking about,
Put letters on.
so anyway,
Yes.
That big? Okay.
so anyway, I think my thoughts are,
I'm gonna see it.
and I think I talked to Scott, is I would like to do some tent stuff for the season, see how things work out. Oh, this isn't a good idea. No, maybe we should move this sign, maybe, whatever. I don't think we should do anything permanent up here. The things that we are gonna do right away is we're gonna put the arrows going in and the arrows going out, so people know
Stop sign.
Are
where
you
to
gonna
come
be
in.
clearing the,
It's been cleared.
okay.
Everything's been cleared the way
It's
it's
gonna be
supposed to
clear
be.
So
No, he did it.
They just did it yesterday. the
Oh,
day before.
yesterday,
Yeah.
okay.
So there will be a stop sign here. I'll show you the order I did for all the signs. So there will be a stop sign here. The gate will be here, and on the gate, it'll say, park closes at dusk. Okay? There'll also be, there's a tree here. We're gonna put up a sign that says, cameras, fields under surveillance.
Mhm.
Okay, we have cameras there. Obviously we don't, but it's gonna say that, okay? No one's watching these when I do anything. Oh, This
It's
isn't
fine,
Fort
just keep
Knox.
going. Just keep
So
going.
anyway, we thought that was a good idea anyway for people coming in. So if you look at the sign here, where is it? Everybody see this sign? So this is similar to the sign that we would have out in the front. It's a sign that you can change. You can put soccer tournament, you can put whatever that day. It's movable. We can put it out as far out as we can, because you remember, it's not a permanent sign, so we don't have to worry it, because it's being moved in and out, how far it goes out. So when people come in, they'll see the sign. People driving by, they'll see the sign. And I just want to do that in the beginning to see how everything works. I really don't want to do anything permanent. Come the fall, you'll say, oh, we should do this sign. I'll get more quotes, but I got a quote for $3,500 for 2 signs. So the idea is, whoever uses this field for whatever they're going to do, they're going to put out the sign and say soccer or whatever. At the end, they're going to bring the sign in, put it right behind the gate, and there'll be a lock,
We wanna get a combination
a
lock
combination lock
that we can change.
that we can change if something happens. And whoever the coach is will bring it in and lock it up. Okay, I think that's the easiest thing to do. So we don't have to leave it out. You understand?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we discussed.
Questions so far before I go further? Okay, so let's go further down. I think in your folder, so I'm ordering 2 signs that say drive slowly. They will go up here. So people coming up here is gonna have a sign that says drive slowly. People coming down is gonna have drive slowly. You'll also see a picture of speed bumps
Oh, yeah.
there. They're 2 6-footers, so they'll match across the road, and then we'll get another one and put it wherever we want. If we see down the road, it should be
So there'll be 3 speed bumps,
2.
There'll be
only
two.
2.
Two 12-footers. Because that's all we need with the signs.
So one up front and one in the rear.
One will probably be here and one here. Okay, so that'll help control traffic. Now we have other signs, a lot of other signs. Peter orders these, and no alcohol permitted per town bylaw, no pets. I was gonna do 4 on each side, 2 over here, 2 over here, 2 over here, and 2 over here. I don't think we need to do much more. And we'll just do what the guys did here. They used a tire wrap to put it on. Now I went through the state and got the state handicap parking requirements. Where is it? Let me get it.
It's in your binder.
Hold on. My binder? Wait a minute, I think it's right here.
Sorry.
Okay, here it is. So, handicap parking space is done by how many parking spots you have. Now, if you look here, we're not gonna need all these parking spots. Did you really think we're gonna do parking against with a road here? Is this what you think we were gonna use here? 1 row, 2 rows in a row? Was that thinking?
I don't know if we want it, if you take your finger and follow it back up. No, keep going, no, you were going the right direction. Keep going up, to your left a little bit. See those parking spots on the left-hand side?
Yeah, we'll cut those.
I don't think we
Yeah,
wanna
no.
put them there, cause you're gonna have 2-way traffic. And if you don't give them enough room, someone's gonna get clipped, or someone's
Right.
car's gonna get hit. I mean, you're talking 5 or 6 parking spots, it's gonna be,
Yeah,
200 parking spots there.
so you're right, I don't think we need anything down here. Well, the point is,
Definitely the
I mean,
left-hand
look,
side.
we have,
You want a pen?
we have 175 parking spots here. That's a lot. I think we can cut it down. Because we're not gonna go all the way down here. We'll use this.
We'll go to the end of the fence.
Yes, but there is more room here.
No, I know.
So
Where would you put,
so anyway, I ordered 6 spots, because 6 handles, you need 6 for 151 to 200 spots. So I'm ordering 6 signs.
Where would, their food trucks go?
Well, here's the other issue. This is my proposal, and let me just get my phone. Did you take my phone?
I did not.
I'm not voting for you. Okay. So, this is what we were gonna do. So we had a 60 by 60 area here. It wasn't 100 on 100, but that's too big. So this corner here, okay? There's a gate going out here and there's a gate going out here. We're gonna put they're gonna be all handicap accessible porta potties.
Isn't that far away from where you're?
No, the parking's gonna be here and the parking's gonna be here for the handicap.
That's
Okay.
the intersection of the two fields.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
So when they get out of their car, there's a gate, and then there's a porta potty. So they don't have to go anywhere. I didn't mean to say that.
Aren't you putting the picnic tables there?
Inside that square.
I'm out. So yes, my idea was the fence, put the porta potties in here, put some picnic tables, correct, Scott?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna put the dumpster back here, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's out of the way. Now, are we still good with doing the picnic tables in the fence area? Are you comfortable with that? Or as we talked, do you want to wait through the season to see, maybe we should do something else?
I mean,
I'm just saying,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me.
Thoughts?
We could at least bring a couple picnic tables over from the park.
We can still put the picnic table, I'm just talking about the fencing. It could be, maybe you need a bigger spot, maybe it's smaller, because once the fencing's in, the fencing's in.
I thought
Right,
you were
I
gonna
think-
hold off on the fencing.
Yes, I just want to make sure everybody knows that.
But,
On the square,
On the square,
then we gotta put something out there, whether it's a telephone pole or something. If you're gonna put porta johns and picnic tables in there, you gotta block it. You can't have cars, cause somebody will drive into it. Somebody will decide to park their car in there.
I thought we were gonna, wasn't gonna be blocked off with a fence, what was the other idea we had?
I mean,
Well, we got the porta potties here. We were gonna put, if we're gonna put the picnic tables, we can put them in that area.
right,
Would you put
but you still
all
need,
of them in one area, or would you put a couple there and a couple
You know
on
what?
the other side?
That's down the road. I mean, we get it.
Especially next to the porta potties.
That's my point. The point is, I really wanna see what it's gonna look like when everyone's down there before we do something down
you
there.
know, I was thinking about, you were talking about, well, maybe it's too big, well, maybe we don't make it square. Maybe we make the fence rounded.
But that's my point. I don't wanna do it yet until we see if it should be rounded, if it should be squared.
I'm just saying, if it's rounded, it's gonna make it easier for
Right.
cars to drive through. I was thinking about that.
But you gotta remember, Melita can put it in like that.
Oh, I know,
So I really wanna see the first couple months and go, hey, this would be better if we did this, then just do it and work around
If
it.
we're not putting a fence up, I don't think we, I don't know, you need to, I'm just afraid that if you don't block it off and you got people milling around in there, you're gonna have some idiot park in there.
Well, okay, it's easy for me to get the stanchions and put the rope like you do in a regular parking lot and just rope it. That's all. I just think, I wanna see what it looks like. My goal is to get the darn fields open.
I know.
Get everything here, have this. I think all the little things, are just something that, I mean, we can buy it or store it, I don't care.
But the rounded fence, is that something that you might want us to, believe about?
Oh, no, John will do anything we want, just so you know that. But I really wanna wait
It's
to see.
not a rounded fence. It's
It's
just
just the-
instead of having the fence go straight into a square, it would just be curved.
It's like the outfield of the baseball field.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's all.
I just
So what do
didn't
you
know
need
if
from
you
us today?
wanted to.
Okay, so we're into something else. So anyway, agreed upon the handicap here.
And one on the other fence. If you got 8,
I got 6.
so put
Three
two
here.
on the left side,
Uh-huh.
2 in the middle, and 2 on where your hand is.
2 here?
No, not in the middle. Right, this is your entire parking lot.
Yes.
Put 2 here, 2 here, 2 here.
No, you don't wanna put 2 here, cause it's gonna take them, they're gonna have to walk all the way over here if they wanna do
It's
something.
handicap parking. They may not even get out of their vehicle.
No, I understand that, but they can see the field here, they can see the field here.
Oh,
The issue with people complaining to John Pond is that they're too far away from everything. And if they wanna see their kids over here, then they're gonna have to travel all the way over here.
Well, they're gonna park in the
Is
ones
that
that are over
another
that
field?
field.
What if they fall? I'm just being
Then
a
put
devil's
3 and 3.
advocate. I'm gonna put 3 here and 3 here.
Okay.
I have a question on the porta potties. If you put the porta potties against the fence and you put the picnic tables and stuff out further, how are they gonna get to clean the porta potties?
There's gotta be there's gotta be an opening in that
There's,
fence.
there's a double opening, a 10-foot opening here to go here. And that's why,
You mean,
There's one to go onto the field, then there's one to go into that square.
Into the square?
yes, but that's why I wanted to wait in the square to see how it works with the porta potties and how it works with them emptying it. We can do it within a month. We'll know in a month if the porta potty is gonna work there, water station's gonna be there, you know, everything. Now, do we want all of the porta potties handicap accessible instead of just
I would just do one.
do
Aren't they
one?
more expensive, the handicapped porta potties?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're.
I'm sure.
I think they are.
So do one, and so how many porta potties we'll need down there?
2.
2 porta potties, that's it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Unless there's a
yeah,
tournament
but
or
you
something,
have.
then they
you
bring
Yeah,
it
then they
out.
can bring
You
their
have the
own.
trailer, right?
no,
We don't have water, we don't have electric.
there's nothing's going, that's just, down the road, if we run electric from the box,
But we don't have water and electric, so there's no use to bring it down there right now.
Oh, well,
We
not
did get
right now,
approved
but
for that
we will
as our
be
capital
having it down
plan.
there.
Well, they're gonna
Hopefully.
make that recommendation.
It costs money.
but
So
we
that-
don't have the money for it.
Well, we put the money for it.
I thought it was,
Money's
at some
not in our
point it was
budget.
going
It
down
is in
there,
our
but
budget.
it was part of it.
Hopefully, that's
It's
the
starting
plan.
July first, it is.
But it won't
Back
be.
to what we
Oh, our budget
Because
in
we
the
don't
budget.
have water and electric,
Not
there's
the
no reason
cap,
to
not
bring
the
it
thing
down.
that got approved.
It might go all spring without
But
it.
that, it was the capital project, so
So
the
now we
town
need to-
has to, the select board has to recommend for approval our
Unfortunately.
capital.
Got it. Actually,
So,
I'm approving it, so I'll make sure it goes through. All right, things we gotta vote on. Everyone good with the signs that we're gonna put up?
Are you putting a stop sign down near the drains, at the end of the road?
That's a question for you. Do we want 2 stop signs, one going out and
I
one,
mean, I think we have to
once
have
we
one
go
on the
through and
street.
have people stop?
So why, my question about all the signs, rather than have 6, why don't you have a stop sign that has these signs underneath it?
Oh, it's too not, people aren't gonna read it.
people aren't gonna read it anyway.
No, they're not gonna read it anyway.
But they're stopping.
But these signs need to go on the fence.
Okay.
Because we want people, if they're walking their dogs, to know it's there, because it, supposedly it works down at the other side. So, listen, we got plenty of money for signs, I wanna do it correct, so we're gonna have a stop sign here, and then Scott's thinking of a stop sign here before they go in.
Yep.
That's
There'll
what we
be a-
talked about.
There'll be a drive slowly here, drive slowly here, speed bump here, and a speed bump here. That should probably slow down traffic.
Hope so.
Yeah.
We hope.
And we could always add another stop sign if we need it, like if people are still zipping.
And then 3 of each of
Yeah, I
these?
mean, I just think it's
Yeah.
a good idea, people going into the parking lot, they have to stop one last time.
Right.
Just.
Because
you got
people are
kids.
going this
You got-
way
you got-
and-
Right,
yeah.
because you got cars gonna come like this,
Right.
you know, and
And from both sides of
plus,
the parking
kids
lot.
in the parking lot, I think it's a good idea for people to
Yeah.
stop and look. That's my feeling.
All right, so fill me in again. We pay for the first 2 porta potties. If there's any more, the groups pay for them?
Yeah,
or do
but
we
there
charge
shouldn't
them
be
for
any
any
more
porta
except for tournaments.
Okay,
And they bring in the extras as needed.
okay,
Other than that, it's 50 people per
okay,
porta potty.
all right. All right, so we're good on all the signs. What am I gonna do? I got a big list for Frank, which I'm sending him. I'm gonna add a couple things. All the signs are gonna cost about $1,000, which is, I got like 7,500.
What about, I didn't see any of the restricted area or turtle area signs that you were talking about.
No,
Did you
that-
order those?
No, I'm doing that. I have to look. I sent Frank my order today. He's gonna send me back what it's gonna look like in the price. But all the signs are going up on a post. He attaches them and he puts them in. Frank takes, once he gets the signs, he takes care of all the installation for us, except for the ones we're hanging on the fence. So yeah, we got the restricted signs down here. Once again, we're good with the budget.
Do you need a slow sign? or 5 miles an hour signs.
How many restricted?
Well, slow, I think slow is, we are gonna have
Slow
drive
children.
slowly.
How many restricted?
We have drive slowly here and we have drive slowly
Should
here.
it be a speed limit?
No.
Well,
If it says drive slowly, it's only
and
a,
slowly to some people is 15 miles an hour.
But there's gonna
Slow
be
to
speed
Paul
bumps.
is like
they're gonna
30.
be speed bumps, Paul.
Oh, okay.
How many turtle signs have you got?
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe need 5, but I'm thinking 4 at this point.
So get 6.
I'll get 6 because they may have to put it, because the 3.5 acres gotta go all the way around to the other side, not all the way around here, but we just need to cover ourselves. Even with this, even with the snow fence there, it's got to be protected.
How many camera signs?
Well, they come in 6s, 4s.
The camera signs?
Yeah, so I'll put them everywhere.
Okay.
You mean not Ted Williams too?
What's that?
Are you gonna use them all for the
No,
camera
we need a couple
signs?
down there.
Yeah,
And then you're gonna use some at Ted Williams?
yeah, they're like $18 for 6. All right, so do we need to vote on, is everybody good with the sign I had that's temporary?
I guess I still don't understand the temporary signs. What are you gonna do? Soccer practice?
Well, first it's gonna, let's put it this way. I make a motion that we call the Northfields Commissioners Park.
I
With an S,
second,
Commissioners,
Commissioners Park,
I second that.
because it involves everybody who's been doing it.
Past,
Paula
present,
brought that up.
past, present, and future
Because
commissioners.
Northfields doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Okay.
I made a motion.
I second.
oh, Paul seconded.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, passes.
Good. Sorry, it's not Holmes Park, but.
Was never gonna be.
Can this be stolen?
No, it was never.
Well, no, because
We might
anything
just-
but stolen that's being brought inside.
Brought inside where?
It's gonna be behind the gate. We have a locked gate there.
So someone can walk around the gate and grab it?
Of course they can walk around.
Listen, anyone can walk around anything. I mean, this is, who would wanna take this? It's plastic. Okay,
Ain't too bad we didn't have the old arrow that somebody gave away.
yeah, and it's got a camera. I'm not worried about that. I'd be more worried about someone smashing the good signs out front.
So for total, I've got 3 dog signs, 3 alcohol signs, 2 stop signs, 2 slowly signs, 6 restricted turtle signs, and 4 camera signs.
And we got 2 speed bumps.
Yes.
They're like, what, about 150 piece?
So that's a total of 20
200 for
signs
both.
and 2 speed bumps.
Yep. That should cover everything.
Okay.
Okay, as far as timing goes, everything goes well, it should be a month. That's if we don't run into crap.
Like a turtle.
Are you gonna order bleachers at the same
They're not
time?
out yet.
Yes. How many bleachers do you want me to order? I think I
I
put,
thought we were just gonna get one big one on each side.
we're gonna do 2 bleachers.
I thought you said 2, yeah.
Yeah.
1 on each side, 2 bleachers. So I'll get those. We got way too much money for them, so you can, like I said, it's like anything else. Any money we don't use in the beginning, we can use for down the road. And there's gonna be a nice thing. The only thing that's not in the budget is the fence here.
That was in the budget.
Well,
It should have been.
It was,
in
it was 1,080 feet, which I think is on, he's gonna measure it. Okay, if it was in there, he'll put it in, but Scott and I put in 1,080 feet. We added,
I believe that includes,
Okay.
that included
Good.
200 feet of fencing.
That's
Because it
great.
was 880.
That's right,
It was
that's right. It was
880.
880 and we added.
We
200.
added 200.
So that's covered. The other thing that I might do though, and I'm gonna wait till it's done, is on this parking lot down here, there's a big slope going down. It's very muddy.
Yeah,
It's
it
awful.
needs a snow fence,
And
right from the edge of the
someone's
driveway.
gonna go into it, we're gonna have to tow them out. So we're gonna need to do something here.
I think you wanna do it, honestly, Mike, until everything is said and done, I think you wanna go right from here and go right across with it and block off these 20 parking
Yeah.
spots.
Until
Until everything
yeah.
is,
Exactly.
the drain is working and.
So we know everything's working. We have plenty of parking here.
Plus, that way Clancy can get in there without cars being in the way if
And
he
he
should
and
be
he
there.
can park his equipment here and nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
Boy, the lady's giving us a lot of snow fence.
We have snow fence too, you know.
We're not opening it though till the drain is in, right?
Oh, we're not opening anything till the
So
drain
we
is
don't
in.
have to put the fence up because nobody's gonna be down there.
Well, he's gonna start the drain next week.
Yeah, but cars are gonna be down there.
No, but the point is,
Well, the
We're
fence
not saying
won't
right
go
now,
until
but when-
the end, he
no,
said.
but my point is the drain could be working here, but if he still has to do work here, then we're gonna be able to use the field. He'll be able to tell me, Mike, go ahead, you can open up this section. But once again, the fence has gotta go in too. So my immediate thing now is to go ahead and make sure we have everything. Clancy I already talked to, we're gonna meet him next week, he's gonna start going full bore. I need to finish this. This is the most important thing. Okay, the signs, the fence, and then I'm gonna go talk to them about how to set up a turtle plan and who we need to sign up to do it. And now we had an environmental guy before, but it's so funny, the people who did these plans, I called them up, they've been out of business for 4 years. So they're no help.
Was
So-
that Azor?
Yeah, they're gone. So,
How about, would conservation send something
pardon me?
for the turtle?
Well, my goal is to do this and say, here, it's in your hands now, okay? Because conservation is not aware of this, what's going on here.
But they have somebody that they should have.
They do not-
agent that
They
goes-
do not have an agent now.
Conservation agent is Nancy Yates.
Nancy, no, I talked to Nancy today, they need to get an agent. They need to get an agent.
I thought you-
That's
Oh,
not,
she's the manager.
yeah, because the agent shouldn't be a part of the board. It
Right.
should be separate.
Alright, so
They should
what
be
do you need
independent.
us to do?
Right now, you just told me what I could do and you approved everything was going,
And you prove the signs.
approved all the signs. I'll give you updates every week. There should be no vote. There should be no further votes unless we run into other problems. And listen, if we need some more ad money for this, as long as it's in the budget, I'm not gonna bother anyone. If for some reason it's over the budget, then I'll come to you guys and say, you decide. But right now, you just never know if we dig up something and it's a.
Right,
a
but let's
body.
come to us before we're over budget.
What did I just say?
That you, as long as you were under budget, you weren't gonna, but if you went over budget, you
No.
would come and make a decision.
If I see it's gonna over budget, I run to you guys and say, your decision. Any more questions? All right, now what are your plans? This is gonna take a month and a half. I'm off the board in 3 weeks. I'm more than happy to finish this for you.
Thank you.
And I'll just report to you guys, anything that needs to have a decision, I'll come to you guys and you guys make the decision. But I think it's important that I finish what I started.
Well, if
And
that's,
I'll be reporting to you guys.
Well, I need Scott's.
I think you need to, we're gonna have to recommend that to the select board and they'll appoint you for 2 months or 3 months.
Yeah, but I sent them a letter
Okay.
telling them that what needs to be done, but it shouldn't be an issue because I'm not being paid.
No, but as long as if we have 5 people, then it might get a little tricky. But if we don't have 5 people, then it's not a big deal. You'll just be appointed for.
Right, for that
Whatever.
amount of time, yeah. But I'm also not on the board, I can't make any votes, I can't do
I
anything.
don't
Right.
see what the problem
So
is.
it'll just
So
be,
that-
I just send you guys a weekly report, and if anything needs to be voted on, I hand it to you.
Yeah. So what,
like a
I
sub-
think we
finishing
would
up
just
signs
work
and-
on it together
Oh, yeah.
at that point. I don't think.
No, I would be with you, call you up, come down, come down,
Yeah.
come down. No decisions will be made without your,
You know, it's up to the board. I mean, no one else is gonna take over a project without any boards. Okay.
Do we need to vote on it? Do we need to do something about it? Do we need to?
well, we have
vote on
time,
this?
we have time. We have
Not
another
until
meeting.
like we have
Yeah,
3 more meetings, right? It's when is the vote?
2 more meetings.
When is our election?
April
in
1st?
April something.
We got one
April
more
1st?
meeting after
April
that.
1st.
April Fool's Day?
And like you said, when Brenda wins, that's gonna be 2 openings. and
Well, right.
She doesn't
I
have to
can
quit.
come in for a while.
What if I don't?
She doesn't have to quit.
That's right.
Did you check with, I don't believe you have to quit.
I can't do both.
Why?
Are you kidding me? How much select board work? She doesn't,
Plus,
she
it
can be
don't-
the parks rep.
If I can do both, I'll stay on, but I was planning on asking to be the liaison. I like parks, it was fun. Didn't do much, but it was fun.
Well, it's familiar to you, now
All right.
you know.
Yeah.
All right, where are we?
We're adjourning it.
Capital projects adjourn. Our next meeting is, what's today? So the 21st?
Yeah, next meeting is the 21st.
Here.
First day of spring.
Yeah? All right,
Thank you,
motion
guys.
to adjourn?
Thank you.
Did you say me?
Made. I made the motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, we'll close the meeting at 9:20 and we'll see everybody March 21st.